block and a half, so that should be good. But they had, I knew they were going to have an event, so I, what do you call it? I decided to just go a little incognito for the moment. So, guys, I tell you, my life gets more interesting the older I get. And I'm finding that I can accomplish things, accomplish goals that most people just can't. I could do things that most people just seem to not be able to do. And I hope and I pray that I stay humble. Like as I get older, I hope I don't get full of myself and I could stay just being, you know, in a state of like a state of learning, that I'm always learning, you know. I will say that being in a mental place where I'm always learning, I kind of get sick of people telling me what to do or how to do it, or whether to be talking or not talking. I'll never get used to it. It's so annoying. I grew up kind of just being invited to open my mouth and invited to say whatever I want, invited to ask as many questions as I wanted to, and continue to learn. You know, and that's how I always learned. And even in adulthood, I don't see that as a bad thing. I see it as, you know, a healthy, proper form of social communication. So that's what I do, is I keep talking, I keep asking questions, and I don't show any shame in the matter. I really don't. Thanks for the follows. And thank you for the compliment. Right about now, I am just handling my nerves and avoiding buying a pack of cigarettes. I'm avoiding pulling any money out. So I have like a little bit that I'm just keeping to myself. And I'm doing really good with disciplining myself not to spend it. But I have like another week, I want to say. Yeah, I have another week until I get paid. And I like literally just, I spent a lot of money this week. Just cleaning up a situation and getting myself, you know, getting myself looking a little bit better. So now I'm just kind of wandering around, not really doing anything, but I'm live streaming, which is good. You know, I'm at least staying productive in some way. I was just going to go, you know, find a corner and just hang out for the rest of the day and then go to bed. But then I'd have been up at 3 in the morning. And I mean, I'm going to be up at 3 in the morning either way. But I wouldn't have ended up getting a whole lot of sleep at night anyway. So I figure I might as well be out here, just keep myself occupied and coming live with you. Paper and pour me some Jaeger. Guitar and play.
I don't know why he had to be so secretive before, but he like walked in silence for 16 minutes and took off his hoods and sunglasses.
I'll tell you, as a guy, people, honestly, I guess it's like the look on my face. Maybe it's the look on my face or the way that I dress. I don't know what it is. Straight. Yeah, very, very, very straight. Maybe it's just the look on my face, but people just assume that I'm like simple in the fashion of like a non-complex or deep thinker, but I'm a very deep thinker and a very complex thinker. And, you know, I go about life and handle my challenges patiently and with simplicity. Thanks for the follow. So
it's just gonna freeze. Cool, James. I'm hungry. I need to go eat. He's gotta not freeze. He's gotta not freeze.
And there, you know, she thought I was cute, but she was, you know, her and I think, are in different places in life. I'll say it that way. Thanks for the follow. And so she looked at me and she was just like, you know, kind of like play with her hair for a second with that look of like, well, I know you like my hair. I'm good. And, but at the same, you know what I mean? Not cocky, just like, hey, you're cute. and I know that you know I'm cute, and that was it. But it was just, I found it funny. Like the look on her face was like as if I didn't like my mental ability didn't pass the level of substance of the visual of her beautiful hair. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
just
I
the
don't know what you're
assumption
saying.
that the only thing going through my brain was, oh, that's pretty. And that wasn't. That's, guys, I am a deep thinker. That's all there is to it. Thanks for the follow. But I do, like I said, get a kick out of it when people think that I'm not thinking any deeper than like your average male, I guess, or like a real simple. I'm not. Yeah, that's okay. Unfortunately, someone has to be barred from the Catholic Church, but did I mention I know the Pope? I don't have to be Catholic. To do is
Remember when James said his speed never gets throttled? What the fuck is this?
human trafficking rings. When they look at you with a look of disdain, with the opinion that you shouldn't be going to their church. So last time I was in this church, I tore a dollar bill in half and I walked out because I was very upset with people distracting me from Mass and paying attention to Christ during the church service. Because I was raised
Ripped
Catholic.
a dollar bill up?
And now, this time around, it's one worse. So last time I passed here, when I went through this situation last, I went into the church, I went to Mass, and I got very distracted. People were distracting me from paying attention to Mass intentionally. It was very disrespectful. And all I wanted to do was go in there and have some peace for the day for myself. You know, not involving anybody else. Whatever you do with your life, that's awesome. I just wanted to be in my own mental space with Christ Jesus. I wanted to be able to pray and feel safe and mind my own business in community, but not being distracted from Christ. And I just had a whole bunch of people like bothering me and like not literally, but like as passively as possible, so that my attitude of irritation would have looked self-induced, or however you might put it. But from there, it is what it is. And then I thought, well, this time around it's going to be a bit better. I'll walk up to the church, I'll go into the church, and I'll just go to Mass. Well, I pass by and there's this old school Rolls Royce being driven by a guy that I have already identified as an international human trafficker. He's the only person we didn't arrest. And the likelihood of me seeing him here is 0 to 0. Like 0 out of 0 possibility. So thank you to the gods of men, or the men of gods, however you prefer, for dropping a giant shit on my front porch. A large bag of poop on my front porch and lighting it on fire. I have to admit I'm impressed. I'm impressed. But yeah, so this time around, much, much worse. Much worse than just tearing a dollar bill in half. But at least now I have an explanation for randomly walking around town and doing absolutely nothing and going into nowhere. It just makes me look like I'm scared. I'm so fucking terrified. I'm joking. We're redoing all of this, okay? It wasn't supposed to rain today, so today never happened. Literally, guys, you have no idea how powerful humans on this planet are, especially with the advent of social media and technology, especially 5G. Guys, I don't think you understand that we have the power and ability to wipe your memory with the snap of a finger. Now think what we could do with 5G nodes across the country. Right now, when I tell you that I've lived this day before, wouldn't matter if I'm telling the truth or not. You're not going to remember it, but I will. But if you remember it, keep your mouth shut so that you can either live it again or, you know, not have to live it again. Thanks for the follow. And some people are like, oh, it's a secret. Guys, it's actually not a secret anymore. That's what people don't know. Is now it with everything changing in society and so much becoming public, stuff that used to be secret and stuff that used to be private is no longer private. It's not. So, you know, if you ever heard of the concept of time travel, there's no such thing. Time is a measurement. You can't travel through time. That's like you can travel through space, right? Because space is a physical manifestation of reality.
You
but
can
you can't
measure
travel through
space,
time
though.
Because it is not.
You can measure distance and you can travel distance, you idiot.
Either physically tangible or, you know, it's a measurement. It's a way to measure things. It's like temperature. Like you can't travel through temperature. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, I mean, technically, right? As you go from warm to cold or cold to warm, you are traveling through temperature, but that's the same way that you would travel through time. If there was such thing as time travel, that's what it would be. Is you would be transitioning from one time frame to another. And to travel through a time frame is essentially like if you just think about periods of time in society, right? So like I've been to the Midwest, I've been to the middle of nowhere, and it might as well be time travel because it's like the way that they live is the way that it was maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Hello, how are you, Gabby? Time travel is possible at the speed of light. Here's the thing. At the speed of light, what happens is it's not time doesn't bend, right? It's how do you put it? It's not time that bends. How do I say it? Say it for me if you will. I can't remember how to say it.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
But yeah, you technically start traveling through time. But here's the thing. My day's awesome. Thank you. How was your day? But what's really cool is you don't have to travel at the speed of light to travel through what people would call time. Nice to see you again, too. Thanks for the share. In reality, what it is our concepts of time and space are based on an agreed upon reality that we can tangibly measure, right? So if you have an agreed upon measurement of time and space, then that's the reality you're living in. But if you can convince a populace of people to change their mind about the time and space that you're involved in and the way that your mind perceives that reality, you are by technicality only changing the perception of people's time-space experience. But at scale, what you're really doing is legitimately warping the reality of the person whose experiences are changing. And thus, you are traveling in time. Like, I'll let you smoke a bowl first. Well, there's the other thing is time travel is possible not only by going faster, but also by going slower. You know, time travel as they call it, right? Traveling through space perception is what I'm going to call it. Traveling through space perception is not only possible by going faster, but also by going more slowly. So you can slow down and change your space-time experience, I guess you could say. So whether you realize it or not, this is part of why I don't do drugs, is other than drugs being extremely unhealthy for you, when you do drugs, there's two types of drugs, right? There's drugs that make life feel like it's going faster, and there's drugs that make life feel like it's going slower. Either one is really not healthy for you because obviously you're supposed to experience time and space at the rate that it's actually at the rate that space is actually transitioning and changing.
Thought you said it was all made up, James.
Upon as far as time goes, but if you let's say you smoke weed, Well, it slows down your time, your space-time perception. And realistically, it actually does. Marijuana does biologically, through science, it's scientifically proven that marijuana does slow down your space-time experience.
Hence making me faster than everyone else.
But that's something that marijuana does to your brain, is that your space-time experience slows down, and realistically, you're supposed to be able to learn and absorb more of your environment more quickly, as long as your capability, for absorbing and processing information doesn't get altered during your, altered state of perception. So if you can maintain your mindset during the space-time alteration perception experience, like when time slows down while you're smoking marijuana, then you can absorb more of your environment, understand more of your environment more quickly. But I personally don't use any drugs or anything that alters my perception of time or space. I stay within the bounds of what's atypically accepted as physical and, psychological.
Typically accepted.
The psychologically acceptable agreement upon the
what are you talking about?
standard
Agreement
of what the rate and perception of reality is.
Just saying words at this point.
And even within that, I've been able to grow and learn quite a bit. Thanks, Stella. Fast or slow? Thanks for the share. Smile on nose and face. Thank you. Thanks. Like I speak. Thank you. Yeah, and it cracks me up when people are like, "Oh, you don't be talking about that and this and that and this and that," and then, like, grow up. Some people are like, "Oh, we need to keep it a secret." I'm like, guys, like, calm down. All right, it's 2024. Here's the thing: if you're gonna complain that society, the people, the government, whoever isn't giving you what you want, then don't be so protective and secretive of the things that you know. You can't expect people to give to you without you giving to them. And when you do, that's called psychopathy and narcissism. You're not going to get what you want long-term by force. You can take it, and eventually Mother Nature will make you fat and old and sick and give you a heart attack while you laugh, and then you pass out on the road, and hopefully someone picks you up. Me personally, I had a dad that passed of a heart attack in his 50s, and I am not as dumb as he was. I paid attention to what my mother taught me. And so I'm more mature at my age than most men who are twice my age and have twice the social power that I do. But they have the social power because it's delegated to them, whereas what I got is mine. So in reality, I have a lot more power than they do. I just don't have it delegated to me. So, could they all of a sudden become more powerful than me because the powers that be decide to make them a little more powerful to be able to contend with me? Yeah. But if it weren't for the people that they bow to, they would never be able to stand against me. Wouldn't even be possible. And they know it. So on that note, it's not a challenge. Listen, when people with delegated power come against me, I don't take it as an insult, and it's not impressive. If you can't do it yourself, don't come at me, because it's not impressive. If you're ready for a loss, good, because I took my 99 losses before taking my win. And, I still to this day, as powerful as I am as a person, I still lose 99 out of 100 times. And that one win is usually worth more than what I lost the 99 times.
The fuck has he ever won?
You'll stop smoking soon enough. Well, here's the thing. Marijuana is legal, so that's your personal choice. Me personally, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke marijuana, I don't like anything that alters my experience of reality, unless it's like I said, some sort of produced experience, like going to the movies and sitting in a D-box seat, or going to Disneyland, yeah. No, yeah, like I said, I don't go anywhere near any of what you're talking about. Thanks for the follows.
Did he just say he would do
Yeah, well,
drugs
like
at
I said, I mean, for me
Disneyland?
personally, I like to stick to stuff that's legal.
I'm watching a movie or if I'm at Disneyland, that's when I'll do drugs? Did I get that?
Like incarcerated individuals, over 85% of people that populate America's prison system are individuals that do drugs or have some involvement with drugs. So the majority of people that are incarcerated in America either do drugs or sell drugs. So as long as you stay away from drugs, pretty easy to stay out of jail, pretty easy to stay out of prison. Only 15% of people in America have anything to do with drugs that are incarcerated, or don't have anything to do with drugs that are incarcerated. So you want to cut your percentage possibility of being incarcerated by 85%, just don't be around drugs. And it's very easy to not be worried about going to jail.
Or just don't break the law, you know? Just don't break the law. James is that 15%. He had to do something really bad to go to jail that wasn't drugs.
I'm still waiting to talk to a psychiatrist. More than likely, they're going to be diagnosing me with the ADHD and tell me that I got to get on SSI because, I mean, realistically, I'm real good on the internet and I'm real good with media and social media, but I have not been able to maintain a job for most of my entire life, and including my entire adult life. The longest, 9 to 5 I ever had was like 6 months. So,
I wonder what they'll actually diagnose him with. Probably bipolar.
but as of right now, it's kind of just getting myself into a social situation where I can get the proper medication, possibly get on SSI, get proper housing, and then
Hey, Kratos.
get the support needed for me to be able to get a job and keep a job. Because that's a personal goal of mine. Like right now, I have the social attention, and I know how to monetize the social attention. I can make a full income off the internet right now if I want to. But I have my commitments with my family and expectations from the people that raised me. And it's only fair
$6
if I
a
were,
beans.
it's only fair for me to go and get a job and at least prove to myself and prove to them that I could do it. Just for everything they've done for me. That was what they always wanted for me, Even my parents that passed away, what they wanted for me was to have a job and have a college degree. And so I'm still going to go do that. I might have to get a whole lot of support, but I'm still going to do it. I might have a shit ton of PTSD, but I'm still going to do it.
James gives people
So,
PTSD. He doesn't
I'll be
have
okay.
PTSD.
Just one day at a
FI.
time.
What can I speak today? PlayStation 3. PTSD.
Thank you. Sierra, if you win today's promotion card in the promotion carousel game, you will be directly promoted to tomorrow's schedule. I don't know what that means, but that's exciting. I've never seen that notification before, so I was curious as to, oh, wow, you're pretty. I'm going to move on. 7. 7 what? Is that a rating? I mean, without the haircut, I guess that's not too, I take that as a compliment. With my hair being I'm homeless, I don't have a haircut, and my beard is growing the hell out. So I will definitely take a 7 out of 10.
He's homeless today.
I'll take a 7 out of 11. Just for giggles. Thanks for feeding my dino. Thanks for the hearts. Where am I walking today? Rocky, I am aimlessly walking in circles. Today, I admit that I am aimlessly walking in circles. I'm waiting on everybody to get back to me. I'm waiting on like 8 different people to get back to me. I got a whole bunch of stuff to do.
I got back to James today. Did you guys get back to James? 8 people.
A whole lot of responses. Like my regulars and stuff, people that I deal with, I got the responses, but the more important stuff, like stuff that I'm dealing with in the realm of mental health and whatnot, they're just not getting back to me. And I'm figuring it's because it's around the holidays and they don't feel like doing the work. So I just got to wait it out. The win still won. You got it. Got to do it for the win, man. They say, oh, don't say it. I'm like, I'm going to say it, bro. If I didn't say it, I wouldn't be me.
Lucky.
So you always got to do it for the win, man. Do it for the win. Take it one.
Is that Emily Watros? How you doing?
Right? Especially in Hollywood. You should see the women out here. You take one for the team, bro. You can't even call it taking one for the team. It's like you won by losing. in real life, man. It's that good out here. It really is. Thanks for the hearts. Disneyland edibles? I don't, no comment. No comment. Like I said, I'm really not into any of that. A lot of people think that I am, but I'm actually not. I don't know if it's just my lack of beard shaving or my haircut or lack of haircut. But I really wear my baggy clothes. I don't know what it is, but I'm not really into any of that. And I really don't like people that give me a problem over not being into it. It's like super, super sketchy. So, you know, good. How are you, Rachel? Yeah, and I don't fault anybody for going off on me. I mean, I would honestly say I'm probably one of the best in the world at getting people upset and making them angry. So, I mean, quite literally, like I was with probably one of the sweetest women that anyone would ever meet, and I managed to make her angry. So, you know, I just seem to have that skill. Miss, thanks for the follow. Doing good today. That's good. I'm glad. And I tell you, the personal accountability is always a good thing too. You know, knowing that it's you. Like with me, even with what I said to you, that's on me. You know, like I realize that I have to take ownership of my decisions and take responsibility for my actions and my words. Because here's the thing: a lot of people will say, "Oh, words aren't. You know, don't just say it, do it," and that words aren't actions. But I've always been a big proponent of saying that words are actions. You know, speaking is an action. It requires energy to speak.
That's why James thinks he does so much in a day.
Speaking is an action. So you have to be careful with what you say because words have power, you know? And I'm definitely known for not being the most careful with what I say. Even when I'm only acting or doing a parody, it's like sometimes I do go a little over the top.
You're good, Emily. I hope you're doing good.
Rachel, it's my broadcast. I do the same thing online that I would do in my real life. Is if I'm, let's say that I'm doing a show and I have somebody in the audience who's giving me drama. Well, what do you think we're doing? I'm snapping my fingers, calling a security and getting them out the show, pulling them out the audience. This is my broadcast. My name's on it. This is my show. Most people never think about it that way, but it's that way. If I were on stage doing a bit and someone in the audience just started booing me out loud, so loud it's hard for me to talk, I'll try to reason with them at first. And if I can't reason with them, then security takes them out the building. So that's what I do is I use the algorithm. When people are appropriate, we're good. When people disrespect me, I block them. And if you notice, I don't block you right at first. I mute you and give you till next time, which is more than most people do. Most people just block you and never bring you back. So, I try not to just block people. I try to give them a chance to cool down and realize that it's all a show. It's an act, you know? Like even notice the change in my tone. Like I am acting. When I'm live with you, I'm not being me. I'm not being real with you. I'm being as real as I could be, but I am acting. So remember that. This is practice. When I'm live with you, I'm practicing.
That's how James thinks he can get away with saying anything he wants.
No, where's that?
Yeah, I know. Going off is an emotional response. For you, maybe. Going off is not always an emotional response for me. I have a lot of discipline and self-control. And if I want you to think that I'm angry, you're going to think that I'm angry. What's up? How are you? It's really difficult. But I'll tell you, even when I am actually angry in real life, I will control myself to the point where I don't appear angry. And then I will go off in a false way where I even more seem that I am angry, but I have a filter between my true anger and what I'm showing you.
That's why he went crazy when his backpack was stolen, right, James?
Thanks for the follow. Yes, you earned that mute. Yes, you did. You're not a victim. You're a culprit. Security calmed you down, and now all you got to do is stay calm.
Stay calm.
Thanks for the follow.
We're just in James Soroka's broadcast. Stay calm.
Welcome to the broadcast. And I should Save that for me. Well, thank you. Thanks for the follow. And I have a package coming in tomorrow. Here's the thing. I had somebody give me like $200. So I went and I got a whole bunch of stuff that I needed, and I tried to save some of the money for food. Because here's the thing, I needed to change. I needed to shower. I needed to like do all the regular stuff so I could be like, proper and not disgusting and looking like I'm carrying, like I got just a regular bag with me. I got regular clothes on. I don't have like some ridiculous looking, I don't look like I'm dressed up for Halloween today, if that makes any sense. So, I'm not walking around the street fitting the profile of someone who doesn't have their life together. I'm getting nods from people. I'm getting smiles. I'm getting flirtation from the women. Because I'm
from
properly
Spider-Man
showered
3?
and
Hold
dressed.
on.
And that's not the case when, the cash flow is low. If I have to choose between getting the job done and taking a shower, I'm getting the job done. And it might take a week or two and I'm smelling bad. But you know what I'm doing? Getting the job done. And then when either the paycheck comes in or a buddy of mine has a little bit of the money he owes me, whatever buddy it might be, he or she or they, what do you call it? That's what I do, And then on a regular day, like you see me hopping off of here, on a regular day, I'll walk right through. I'm not making time for anybody. But if I'm doing my live stream and I got people that are being kind enough that they're not speaking super loud when I'm passing by and doing a live stream, I'll walk out onto the street for you if you're trying to take a picture, And for me, that's just common courtesy. Some people are like, "Oh man, that's so sweet." I mean, thank you, but not really. It's just like what you should do for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be expected, in my opinion. Like, all the extra nice and emotions, that's great. But at the end of the day, there was a time when, at least in this country, we just did that for each other because that's just what you did. You didn't really think about why you did it. You just did it. And so for me, I still just do it. And when people try to give me a compliment about it, I practically spit on the ground. And they're like, "Oh, you're so rude." I'm like, no, I'll take a compliment about my looks. I'll take a compliment about my work ethic, but I won't take a compliment about being polite or about a social attitude, because I feel like that's something we should expect out of each other. Whether or not most people are doing it, I think we should still expect a positive social attitude out of one another. But that's just me. And I can't say that I do it all the time. I'd say about 20 to 30% of the time I have a good social attitude. And the other 70%, I have this blasphemously outrageous ego due to the level of social attention that I've earned in my life. I am outrageously selfish and I am a jerk most of the time. Because, believe it or not, the amount of attention that I get makes it very difficult for me to behave, because I just get, like I said, I get really full of myself. Sometimes I forget that I'm just a typical person. And that's a big reason why I don't like leaving this country most times, is because here in America, I get leveled like a building if I don't grow up. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, people remind me pretty quick. And 9 times out of 10 nowadays, I don't really accept it, because I'm starting to stress myself out to that level where I can't handle being corrected. But that 1 time out of 10, I'll take it. So essentially, when I get the win, so that those 9 losses, that's fine. And when I finally get the win, I'll feel just good enough that I let people correct me, and I can handle it for a little while, and I, come back down to earth. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the follows. I'm calling deep breath. That's right. I'm going to say plenty of things that you don't like to hear, but I say them for your own good, and I say them for my own good. I say them to, keep you paying attention to me, and I also say them so that I stay in control and stay in power of my own situation. Just don't ever mistake me maintaining control of my situation for an attempt at control over your situation, because I don't have any interest in taking control of your situation.
This is 4D chess, guys.
Of my situation. Thanks for the follows. I'm good. How are you? And I said that this morning to somebody on the phone. I don't have time. I really don't have the time or energy. 7 years, $5. I don't have the time or energy to correct you. You know, I don't have the time or energy to control your behavior or your life. I really don't. Controlling and maintaining leadership in my own space takes pretty much all the energy that I got. I'm good. How are you, Alvin? Going to give you money. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was very appreciative. Because I'm cool. Well, thanks, Rach. Used to have money left over at the end of the month. Yeah, I'm starting to get used to, actually having money left over at the end of the month. And I found the key to having money left over at the end of the month is working to work instead of working for money. Now, if that doesn't make any sense, what I'm saying is, even if you hate what you do, just work as hard as you could and forget about the money. Just focus on eating. Eat as much as you could.
Okay.
But after that, don't really worry about any of it. And that's my advice. Like, just, spend as little money as you have to, except on food, in my opinion. Like, food and housing is what I would say. So housing, like, pay attention to your lifestyle. Pay attention to what you like and enjoy. Make sure that whatever living situation you have, if you have the ability to choose it, make sure that you choose, a living style that suits you and your preferences. Like, if you prefer stone or you prefer wood, prefer whatever your preference is. I know what I'm saying might sound a little over the top, but it's not.
What the fuck?
Like, it actually makes a large impact.
Prefer to sleep on stones? Or you prefer to sleep on wood? I thought he was gonna say like fucking bed preference. I don't know.
No matter your gender, no matter your lifestyle outside of your home.
Want to know how to save money? Just spend it all on food and don't think about what you're spending anything on. That's how you save money.
Anything that's light and fancy, right?
Light
and that's
fancy.
My preference. And
there's a t-shirt. Light and fancy.
I don't want like a white or a cream, but I also don't want anything that's too dark when it comes to like paint or anything inside, my living space, just because those are my mental preferences. So like, based on my lineage, my brain says, look for the snow. I know that sounds silly, but like, I'm Norse, right? My biology, I'm Norse. So I look for rain or snow. I look for, like right now, this weather is fantastic. I love this weather because it's rainy. And we're up there, we're really used to rain. Now, I may not have been there. My family may not have been there for 2 or 3 generations, but you got to remember that biologically speaking, our DNA does not change that quickly. It takes millions of years for human DNA to change and to shift and to alter. So for me, my body and my brain still thinks it's like, it's like my brain and my
Olympic
body are
genes.
still adapted to a Scandinavian lifestyle, a Norwegian environment. Like, my brain says, where's the snow? My brain says, where's the rain? Where's the ocean? What's up? And so right now, I don't have any of that around me. So in times of stress, my brain says, where's my safe space, right? And so I don't have that. But something really intelligent you can do is to shift your lifestyle safe space, your home, your apartment, whatever you got, to match whatever your body and your brain tells you is something you'd be normally used to. So if you come from an arid environment, pick colors for your home that would look like sand. Pick colors for your home that would look like the sun, right? Pick a deep orange, pick a deep brown. Like, these are like, or a light brown. Like, these are real life, like, mind hacks that could help you to feel more safe in your personal environment, whatever personal environment you create. So as opposed to thinking about it socially or thinking about it like, oh, it's racist. It's not racist. It's based on your ethnicity. It's based on your biological DNA. So if you model your home after what your brain tells you to look for, you're going to feel safer in your own space. Just geeked out on you a little bit, but I don't even know where that came from. I just went on a tangent for like a good couple of minutes. don't even remember what I was talking about before I went off. Yeah, no, I'm not much of a narcissist either. I know this whole, feministic, narcissist movement thing is a big deal, but I am just a typical guy. Believe it or not, narcissism is far more common in the naturally born female sector of society than it is the male, by 74%.
Female sector. The sector.
74% more naturally born females are diagnosed with NPD than males by female professionals. More.
Is it because men like James just don't go seek mental help? Because that might be why.
Or a male psychological professional. So, yeah. Narcissism is rampant in America, but believe it or not, it is far more prevalent in the female population than it is in any other gender. Very unfortunate, but also very true. And there are a lot of very psychoaggressive, narcissistic females that like to hide behind the feminist movement. And, obviously it's very dangerous and toxic for those of us who are natural-born men that are not misogynist and are not masculist. So I'm an equalist, but it's very easy to pick out a female that is aggressive and psychoaggressive when they have a reaction to the fact. And it's the same with men. If you say a fact that has to do with men not being the best and a man doesn't like it, well, you picked one out. It's not that hard. So, gauge the reactions, but make sure that what you're seeing is true. Because if you don't confirm and verify, you might get it wrong and hurt more than just someone's feelings. Yeah, well, that's your algorithm. That's because you're being fed. This is why Google is being taken to court right now, because Google monopolizes the entire industry of search, and that includes their AI. So at the social shift of having AI from Google,
it's illegal to lie, Google.
Large flux of people who are turning to this AI to get answers, and obviously because they monopolize the entire industry and they're essentially the only search engine you can turn to for answers, and their entire algorithm is geared towards your personality and your preferences, mixed with the fact that they want to keep you on their platform, they're going to give you answers that you want. And then on top of that, you're going to take that information, whether skewed or unskewed, and then you're going to say, well, this information came directly from the internet. These are statistics, and so they must be true. Well, no different than when we were in school and they told you can't use Wikipedia as a reference source. Well, the same is nowadays you can't trust Google to give you accurate statistics. So like if you were to Google right now how many incarcerated individuals are involved with drug use, the fact is that it's 85%. When I Google it, it doesn't say 85%. It says 14%. I'm pretty sure that more than 14% of incarcerated individuals have some form of association with drug use. And by pretty sure, I mean I know the real life statistics, and the real life statistic is 85%. My Google algorithm tells me 15%, because Google, my algorithm, would prefer me to be doing drugs, because then I would be more adept to being involved with the pharmaceutical industry and turning to big pharma for my solutions on psychological problems that I don't yet have, that I would produce if I would end up having if I did drugs. So.
James, what?
Yeah.
I was just about to say James has been to every fucking jail, so he knows the statistics across the board of America, alright? And then he was like, the algorithm wants me to do drugs to fix problems I don't have yet from the drugs that I'm not doing.
Towards my son, that if I paid child support, I would look like an accomplice to fraud, because I have that much of my international resources being pumped into the town where my wife and my son live. So if I paid child support, I would look like a criminal. So that's why I'm not required to pay child support.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that is a whole situation that is just nobody's business. So we're not going to go into it. And Rachel, unfortunately, that's strike two. So as I said, we're going to have to go ahead and pull you out of the audience and kick you out the building. Sorry.
Out of the building? What do they say?
Yeah, like I said, once again, it's my show.
Also, you
And
gargle
if you don't like
your
what you
friends'
hear, you don't have
balls.
to be
We
here.
know it.
Plus, the show is free.
And
If
hey,
you're going to
Steven,
complain about a
guys.
free show,
Hey,
just next
Rachel.
time don't show
Alright.
up. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'll joke around, but I don't actually.
Who was Rachel?
Yeah, when you're that good, they won't kick you out even when you say stuff that makes it seem like you're meaning it. But when you say that to me and I know you mean it, I just can't keep you around. Yeah, and so that's how you keep someone blocked.
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, Rachel is dead. Oh my.
And so something else I'll tell you that I've done. Something else that I've done is so I've invested in my haters, right? So I learned that I can't get rid of my haters. They don't go away. So what I do is I invest in my haters, and then when I'm ready for their downfall, I pull out my investment. So what I'm telling you is I got people online, right, that they talk trash on me. I have people investing in the growth of their platform. And the reason is the larger they grow, the more viewership I get. And when I no longer need their support, you know what, or what they're saying gets too heinous, or it's time for them to get incarcerated, my next step is that I pull out my investment. The people
We gotta step it up.
that are my people start coming back to my broadcast, and then we ditch them in one way or another.
We're gonna have to get creative. We're not
Unbeknownst to them,
spicy enough for
obviously.
James.
But people like that, you really can't tell them about it. I'm someone that's been on both sides of that coin. I've been the person that's ditched
Right.
people that don't deserve to be a part of the group. I've also
Wonder-
been the person that people have tried to ditch. And
James with like his 0 resources. What is he investing in me?
so what I always do every single time is make sure that I have a backup plan. I always make sure that I have some sort of contingency built into what I'm doing to make sure that when they try to make it look like I'm soliciting money from the public without a permit, and there's people on the Hollywood partnership team and the Netflix security team and the undercover cops that are upset about having to lose their job over the next 4 years, trying to, conspire against me, I can find ways to shut it down without having them need it. Like they don't have to get fired, and I don't have to get involved in a scandal because I don't like scandal. It's not my thing. So this is how I did that. I hope you enjoyed the show. But yeah, normally we don't do this kind of thing on camera, but today we did, and that's when we don't get
We do everything
gotta
on camera.
drag them right.
Oh my god, he's glitching. He does everything on camera, else we wouldn't know about it.
I've been through way worse than this. This is a compliment, if anything. Literally. People say they'll be like, you realize that you have celebrities laughing at you in public and making fun of you online, passively utilizing your namesake to pick on you. And I'm like, okay, so where's the insult? You're letting me know that I'm being acknowledged by some of the most famous people in the world.
Who?
They may be making
What?
fun of me, but I'm pretty sure that when you have celebrities making fun of you, that means that in some form they admire you. There's admiration involved in that. They're not going to speak about you or in reference to your namesake unless they have an interest in you in some way, shape, or form. And 9 times out of 10, when it comes to the media industry, if someone's bringing you up in their circle, whether it's good or not, it's because they have an interest in you. So if I have celebrities making fun of me, that means that somewhere along the line, somebody offered me a job and I said no to it. And so
No?
they're a little cranky about that.
Okay, what celebrity is making fun of him? I'm not a celebrity. No one else who knows James is a celebrity. What the fuck? I was gonna say, he doesn't even have a plan, let alone a backup plan.
In real life and not just trying to have me on their string, then I'll be here. I've grown to the point where I do have things going for me as good as your atypical celebrity when it comes to social size. And that's the truth. But, obviously I'm a little more edgy than most, and my reputation has to be cleaned up quite a bit. But I'm not judging anybody based on what they've been through or
I did forget to tell you guys one thing. James said to me in that weird conversation at Walmart. He was like, "You're a pretty strong guy, Steve. You know, you're a strong guy." And I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I thought that was funny.
Okay, so a lot of famous people have people that work for them, and they'll go out and they'll scout for talent when they get to a certain level. And I recognize the talent scout that is usually pretty incognito, but I wouldn't have called them out. I'm sorry.
The fake talent scout, by the way.
The fact that, they're trying to keep me out of the industry instead of put me in it. So I saw their scout taking a picture of me, and, well, guess who's getting fired? Not the cops, not the criminals, not
Conger's friend.
conspirators, but we're going to take it out on the one woman that
What?
decided that she was going to try to keep me out of the industry. And we're not going to name who she worked for, but I'll let you know that now, because I brought it up, she'll be fired by the end of the day. And that's what happens
Not a
when
woman.
you try to mess with my image.
James, go take a man's
Do
job.
not ever
Why are you taking a woman's job?
Try to use my namesake without my permission. I will not take you to court. I will not sue you. I will not hurt you. I will make you so ignored that you will be begging for attention. Thanks for the hearts.
I
And
don't
more
think we
likely
got
begging
anything to
for a
worry about,
job.
guys. I think we'll
Can't
be
say I
okay.
have been there, but how do you think I learned how to do it?
It was a talent scout. Apparently. I thought it was a dude, though. A dude.
Yeah, and so I guess thanks for the follows. And thanks for the gifts, too. And here's what I'll tell you. When I first moved here, I don't think you guys realize, like, you're the ones. All right, now I say you're the ones, but, I'd like to consider myself a local at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way, but I've been here almost years. And I feel like I'm a part of our community. I was continually reminded that this is Hollywood. So I might have been a little fake when I showed up. But I know how to be passive aggressive too. All right. You don't understand how good I am at it. But what I will tell you is, I will remind you, I was raised by a woman that raised 50 children and 7 of her own. And I was one of 2 children in the entire foster system that got to stay in that family into adulthood from birth, essentially from birth.
Because no one else wanted
So
you.
what I'm telling you is, everything I know, I learned from a woman that essentially ran the entire town while raising at least 14 kids at a time. I'm a pretty smart dude, and I understand community and how it works. So if you ever want passive aggressivism or a lesson in passive aggressivism, you could do one of 2 things. You can go to a woman, or you can go to me. Your choice. You can have them teach you, or I'll teach you.
I mean, I'd rather go to a woman, James. Why are you giving me 2 options? Either a woman or me. Yeah. I definitely learn anything. I would rather learn anything from a woman than you, James.
Hey, my foster mom was the best. She was. I don't even call her my some people would be like, "Oh, that woman wasn't your mom." I'm like, you say whatever you want. That woman was definitely my mom. She raised me from birth on up. That was my mother. That was my mom. My birth mom? No. Amazing woman. But she didn't raise me. She deserves credit for bringing me into the world. And for that, I serve her till, I'll be there for her as long as she needs me to be. But, she had every chance to raise me, and I was raised by my foster mom. And my foster mom gave every chance in the world to my birth family to take me back if they wanted me back. And they didn't. And so, the credit goes to the people that raised me. That's simple, Welcome to broadcast. And if you tell me what to say and what not to say, I will teach you what it means to be a man and an adult. And if you don't think I know how,
James.
well, trust me, I know better than you do. This is America. In any other country in the world, I'd be worthless. In any other country in the world, I probably wouldn't even be alive. But in this country, I'm a goddamn king. And
You're not
if you
a
question
king.
me on it, I'll prove it.
You're homeless. But I was like, you're going to teach us how to be adults?
And you're lucky that in this country, we're taught equalism. Because as a king in this country, if I weren't an equalist, I'd be striking people dead left and right. Because I get my moods too. But I was taught how to love. I was taught how to be kind. And so those are the examples I try to set. Good afternoon, Fonz. How's it going? And so where a lot of people accept certain behaviors out of me due to, my family history, from both my father and my mother's side, birth parents, they get very surprised when in a moment where they expect me to freak out, I don't freak out. I'm calm and I'm collected. And they don't understand why. They're like, well, no, your mom and dad both would freak out in a situation like this. I won't, because I wasn't raised by them. It's not nature.
No one who interacts with James knows his parents, so this is all just in James's head.
Nurture, here's the thing. Nurture is a part of nature. Think about it. It's just common sense. But most people are taught the opposite. They're taught lies. The truth is the fact of nurture being a form of nature's process. I'm not refuting your personal opinion. I'm reminding you of how nature works. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. It's how nature works.
It's a secret.
Nurturing is a facility and a behavior of paternal and maternal instinct in nature. So yeah. I don't know where anyone ever came up with the notion of nature versus nurture. That doesn't make any sense. It has never made any sense. I have never been anywhere that has ever taught that. And it sounds insane because it doesn't make any sense. Nurturing is a part of nature. So I got properly nurtured, and thus I have conquered my nature. So in situations where my parents would freak out, or my sister would freak out, I don't freak out. And so every time that these people that know my family are waiting for the shoe to drop, they're waiting for the ball to drop, they're telling the cops, they see as they come over, they're telling the cops, they're telling the mental health department, the ambulatory system, they're telling the local businesses that I frequent. Oh. They're like, hey, this guy is this guy's son, and he's going to freak out. He's this guy's son, this woman's son, and he's going to just behave erratically, and then I don't. And they're like, well, we're sorry. We really thought that he was going to be a piece of trash human being because of the bloodline he comes from. And I'm like, well, first off, that's a huge insult. My parents acted like trash humans when they were younger and left their families behind for whatever reasons they had. I don't have anything to do with that. What I have to do with is the fact that my family, both sides, come from a very healthy bloodline. My father's side of the family, all military. My mom's side of the family, Christian missionaries. They were very involved with, I have aunts and uncles that were martyrs that had gone to foreign countries and, were attempting to save people and help feed their villages and had died in pursuit of that. And then, I got aunts and uncles that are very wealthy and very intelligent. I have an uncle that helped to invent the keyboard. He helped to invent the first microchip that went into a spaceship. On my dad's side, I have a lot of war veterans and war heroes on my father's side of the family. And then me personally, I was, I wasn't raised by my parents because they had been through so much and had to figure things out for themselves.
New things
that they really
day
didn't have it in them to raise me. They really didn't. And so they did their best. But now at this point, I know that my biological mom loves me. I know that she does. But she can't handle seeing me because she has so many regrets around not having been able to raise me, so just seeing me makes her angry and upset. So she doesn't like being around me. But it's not her fault. It's really not her fault. It's not her husband's fault. They did their best. And there's nothing else to it. So, no matter what happens, no matter the situation, biologically, she will always be my mom. I will always give her credit for being willing to be there for me as much as she is able to handle, And same with my father, that he was there for me as much as he was able to handle. I could tell you
His
that
brain was the test run for
I never
the
got to meet
ship.
thanks for the hearts. I never got to meet my biological father, right? Jessica, hello, how are you? Cameron, thanks for the follow. And, I never got to meet him. But I'll tell you what, my father must have been one hell of a man. And he must have been one hell of a powerful man, too. Because I'll tell you what, I have had situations over the past couple of years where I have met people that were definitely in my father's circle, in like his social circle or what have you. His power is so resounding that I have been in circles of individuals, like multiple people, 5, 10, 15, 20 people who all behave as though my father had been leading that social circle, who all behave the way that he did, who behave like me. It's like he had so much influence. He had so much power over the people in his life. It was just unbelievable.
What are you talking
Because,
about?
like I said, to this day,
What the
over
fuck,
10
James?
years after his passing, I'm still meeting people that used to associate with my dad that don't admit it to me, but I know it because I can see it on them. I see it in them. I see it on them that they had that association with him. And it's just mind blowing, his reach, and having, like, I never knew anything about him. He doesn't have anything in the public about him other than just one time people tried to, tarnish his name because of his
No, 'cause he
refusal
was
to give in to
fucking trying
corrupt
to bomb a
powers,
building.
which I could relate to, obviously. But his influence was resounding. And I'm really hoping that in my life that I might have the opportunity to live into old age, unlike him, that I might have the opportunity to live a long life if, like I got this thing going on inside my body. I don't know what it is. And I'm hoping that whatever it is, it's not terminal. I'm hoping
What?
that whatever it is, it's not like I'm already dead and I just don't know it yet. But given, how
Is this set up for like a cancer scam he's about to run?
and the cards that are dealt to most people, it wouldn't surprise.
What the fuck is happening inside his body?
But I really hope that I'm okay. I really hope that I find out that it's just maybe I got a gallstone, maybe I have a kidney stone or something, and that's what I'm hoping is I just have something real simple.
James just got a whole bunch of blood work done. He said he was clean of every disease possible, so he can fuck as much as he wants.
And so that's where I'm at in my life. My life is so good that it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that it's this good.
You're homeless.
I
The fuck kind of rant is this?
one day in the
I'm acting. Just kidding. Halloween. Happy Halloween.
I could make it to become a tenth of what my biological father was, a tenth of what my biological mother was or is. And same with my dad. I don't know if he's still alive or not. I mean, he has a burial plot, but then again, so did I. Apparently, like, I never faked my death, and I had to have a conversation with law enforcement about that. I never faked my death, and they, thankfully believe me. But somebody had tried to fake my death for me, and I wasn't involved in that. But I'm alive. I'm very much alive. So, being that happened to me, it makes me question sometimes, is my dad alive? Which sounds paranoid, makes me sound like, oh my gosh, I must have a mental problem. But after some
You told Steve Kelso his dad was alive.
question whether or not he's alive, it was the first time I ever questioned it. But I was like, I wonder if somebody faked my death, was his faked? You never know. Like, how do you know? I can't find a lot of information on him. Even thanks for the follows. Even his, no, it's all right. I got something going on inside my body. I don't know what it is. It causes me to have just this odor, this ungodly, uncomfortable odor that I've had for a couple of years, since about 2021. I've had it, and
He's
I don't
cursed.
know what's going on inside my body, but
You're cursed.
I'd say it was, I'd say the late summer, late summer, early fall, that I started to experience some sort of, something smelled, and somebody had told me about it, and it's just been getting worse and worse over the past couple of years, and I've been scrambling so hard just to keep my head above water that I haven't been able to even get it checked out properly. And every time I get close to it, there's always something that gets in the way for literally years. So I'm hoping that I can finally get checked out and figure out. And I literally came like this close, and then somebody that I was hanging out with, kicked me out of their house, and I unfortunately forgot, my test kit there, so I didn't get to find out what was going on in my body. But I'm gonna talk to them probably on Monday, and I'll see what's going on. But yeah, I'm gonna see. Like I said, it was real weird. Like I was literally a day away from getting it checked out. I had the test kit and everything, and then I was hanging out with this guy, and he ended up trying to set me up. And then whenever I caught him, he got real embarrassed and kicked me out of his house. So I didn't end up getting to use the test kit to find
the fish ass test kit.
It was really weird. Like, it wasn't until I got the test kit that he tried setting me up. He tried to make it look like I broke into his apartment. And thankfully, the cops already knew where I was at. They just because of what the amount of social influence I got, they keep track of every move that I make. So they already knew I was in his house. And they already knew where I was at. They knew I didn't break in. And so when he called the cops on me, they didn't do anything, obviously, because they knew he was lying. But it just... I remembered to take everything out of the house.
Sounds like you were asked to leave and you didn't. So we called the cops and they asked you to leave.
I'll get a replacement of it on Monday. So anyway, yeah, like I said, my mom and dad were pretty awesome. I just never got to spend a whole lot of time with either one of them. And my foster parents were out of this world. My foster parents were like saints. They were like people that don't exist on this planet. Literally, they were that good of people, and not just because of my own personal bias. They really were just outstanding individuals that just don't exist on this planet. So I got a really good upbringing. I got very lucky in that way. I learned a lot at a young age, and everything that they taught me, everything they put me through in good ways and in the more difficult, turned me into somebody that was able to survive the streets of Hollywood. At least this long anyway. That I was able to stay alive through almost 10 years of, at least in some way, shape, or form, a sense of homelessness up until this point where, the reality is I have never in my life, minus a couple of months, been homeless, like where I was homeless in every way, where I didn't have anyone, I didn't have anything. I was socially classified as homeless, whereas now I pretty much have my entire life together minus having an appropriate address. So the only way that I am homeless at this point is where I do not have an appropriate address to call my own. Whereas in every other way, I do have my life together, thankfully.
It's because you're a psychopath, James. And when you were with your ex, they felt bad for her, so they would still donate so she wouldn't have to sleep outside. Now that you're by yourself and everyone knows that you are a woman abusing, manipulative piece of shit, no one wants to give you money. And you won't accept shelter because you're crazy. And you don't want to be classified as such.
Alzheimer's, he had trouble remembering things, right? But he was in the hospital, and the one thing he said to me was, he looks me dead in the face and, just snaps to. I mean, I know you guys are like, what's wrong with you that you're laughing? That's just what we did in our family. We laughed everything off. That's all you could do. Like, so much happened in our lives that all you could do is laugh it off. And so he looks me dead in the face and just goes staunch, completely staunch. And he looks at me and he says, "I'm proud of you." He doesn't talk like that, okay? He never talked like that. He never talked that way to anybody. And so I look around and I'm looking at my siblings. Thanks for the follow. We were all in the hospital with him, right? And I just looked at it. I looked at all my foster brothers and sisters and I said to them, I'm like, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, "Did you hear him say that? Did you hear that?" And they were all like, "No, what'd he say? What'd he say?" And I didn't say anything, but he told me he was proud of me. And I was just blown away. I couldn't believe it. But that was
that was James's first audible hallucination.
I've been through fame. I've been through the gold, God, the glory. And to this day, the best day of my life was when my foster father said to me that he was proud of me. When he just, in the midst of his Alzheimer's episode, he just snapped to and told me he was proud of me. And I'm wondering to myself, I'm like, so I'm guessing he probably thought that I was his oldest son because I look a lot like his oldest son, his birth son. So I'm thinking he probably thought I was his oldest birth son. He was saying he was proud of his oldest, because I just can't.
Well, can't going through something traumatic, I imagine his father figure dying would be traumatic to James. So maybe it would just brought on a manic episode and he started audible hallucinating like he does when he says people are whispering in his ears and shit.
It's very possible that he was mistaking me for his eldest son. Really awkward now that I think about it. Yeah. Well, that just ruined that entire moment.
It's
But
just
I'll
a
find
hallucination, James. It's okay. It's all in your
I'll
head.
find another moment. I would have to say, beyond that, the best moment of my life to this point was in
picking a new
2021 when I was separated from my wife a month before the birth of our son, where in a state of apology, the men of the gods bestowed upon me the opportunity to be a part of mainstream society. They said, "You're a little shit, but we love you," and we don't say that to anybody. And I know they were telling the truth, because 3 things they don't do: they don't say "I love you," they don't say you're sorry or that they're sorry, they don't use apologies, and they don't say thank you. And 3 things I got from men that don't say any of those things was that they love me, that they're sorry, and that they're thankful that I just went along with it. And
Who told James this?
more to me for the rest of my life than anything I ever get in my entire life. Yeah. So, yeah. So, last but not least, I am very excited for whatever my life is to bring, forth into this world for the rest of my existence, however long or however short my existence may be. And if I've done so much to this point in my life that people are deciding that maybe, I might not be around as long as I'd like to be, it's been good.
James thinks he's gonna die from his fish ass that he's had for 2 years, apparently. Jesus Christ. James thinks he's gonna die Saturday. At least not saying he has cancer or anything.
Young of an age, I've had it's been that good. So,
Oh gosh, if I die from my fish
relationship
ass.
with my foster siblings. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense of we're all still there for one another. No, in the sense that we're all living our own lives now. Our own separate lives. Especially after, having my foster mom pass, which, I don't know, like I said, with people having faked my death, it made me question whether or not she may or may not have passed. So if she's still around, I hope I never find out about it, because I will lose my mind. I will walk to Pennsylvania and I will be banging on that door just to see my mom one more time. But if she's really passed, then, that sucks. But that's why, we don't really have much to do with one another anymore. My mom was the glue in the family. And with her passing, there's not a lot of holding us together. I try. I really do try, but they don't really want me being so involved as they do the birth siblings. So, it's really tough for me to see everybody so separated. Breaks me apart. Because that was like what held me together. That was my personal glue. Seeing how close everybody was growing up. That was my...
Right, Jane.
So knowing that most of my siblings don't have a whole lot to do with one another anymore, oh man, is that tough. That's really tough. But yeah, I'm okay. I just haven't talked about this with anybody. I'm supposed to have already spoken to the psychiatrist. I'm supposed to already have a therapist, but I guess they're months behind and backed up in the system, so I still don't have anybody to talk to. And so I'm sitting here venting to the internet, which later on I'm probably going to totally regret, but it is what it is.
It's acting.
Welcome to the broadcast.
But to be real, James, you are a disgrace to that family. You are a stain to the family name. Out of 40 kids, you're the worst one. Like, I wouldn't want you to be associated with the family either. You beat your pregnant girlfriend on the side of the road. Everyone else is like doing good things in their lives. You should just leave them alone.
I tried to. And I could have chosen to just go bum it out and lay somewhere and do my live stream just laying in public, acting like a fool. But instead, I guess I decided to be vulnerable in public, which is a bit more than might be appropriate. But it's the best that I got. Some people say, oh, you could have just shut your phone down and disappeared into the night or into the afternoon. So you know what?
Where's Lucy Goosey?
I've been through enough. I can't handle anymore. If I don't rest now, I won't last. I'll be dead at the same age my father was, if I'm lucky. So it's time to calm down. Families, it's the moms that are the family glue. Sad, yeah, when they're gone. Yep. Homeless Bigo streamer. Yep, you got it. What's up? How are you, Godfather? Thanks for the hearts. Yeah, people don't realize you're not taking anything from me when you call me homeless. You're not taking anything from me when you make me look homeless. Guys, I have so much evaluation. When I tell you that the people that run society, because of how much I've been through at my age and based on my lineage and what I've given to this society, it has been decided that I have access to unlimited resource, no matter what, whatever I want, unlimited resets, unlimited redos, no matter what it takes to get me on track, just because I am a very kind and docile person. That wouldn't have made it to my neck. You're lucky. Don't do that again, because I would have I almost actually broke that woman's hand. You guys already know how it goes. Anyway, for those that know, you know. For those that don't, you don't. And just leave it at that, if you will. Thank you. But whatever I got to do to get myself on track, I'm permitted to do. And now I'm living the proof of that, where I'm literally redoing, like you guys are seeing. Some of you know what's going on. Some of you don't remember it because you're not privileged to remember it, because you're not safe enough for society to allow you to remember it. Me personally, I remember that this is technically my second time doing it. I also remember the fact that I had some implant memories from people within the Central Intelligence Agency who hoped that this time around I would lose my mind, and only, that I would end up being crazy and going crazy instead of just sounding crazy. So believe it or not, me just sounding insane is an accomplishment.
What? No, it isn't. Not an accomplishment.
Yeah. So I had people within the agency who, came around and tried to, they implanted some memories, knowing that if I had to redo this situation, that I would potentially remember what hadn't happened yet. So it's called a memory relay, where you didn't go through the situation before, but you may believe you did, and you didn't actually go through it. So no matter what anyone tries to tell you, remember, you did not actually go through this situation before.
Well, those are some crazy mental gymnastics. There's some truth to what he's saying.
So for me, I have actually been through this situation before, and the first time I went through it, I was, I had unfortunately a couple of people working undercover who tried to, give me a couple implant memories in very key situations to, drive me off a cliff for having mentioned them at all. And it didn't work. Instead, all they did was make sure that I remembered that I had been through it before. So, and in such, confirming and verifying that I was telling the truth about having been involved with the Central Intelligence Agency previously, and that I was properly trained. So for those of you who doubted me and thought I was lying to you, those of you who remember the first go-round, now you know I'm telling the truth. And I'm that good. Yeah. Yes, I am so good that I was able to elude and evade the Central Intelligence Agency without detection in this country, as an American, in the age of social media technology and security surveillance. Thanks for the hearts. They will tell you that they always knew where I was to protect their reputation. They didn't, and they know it. And I didn't have to involve myself in anything nefarious to remain undetected. Thanks for the hearts. Good, good, good is good. It's far more greater. Huh? Thanks for the phone. Don't do the psychoanalytical shit with me. I will block you immediately. I was on the phone with somebody earlier today. I tried to tell them to stop trying to psycho-manipulate me. They refused to listen. I literally blocked them. Listen,
Who was
don't try to get your claws into me because I am so smart that I will get my claws into you. I have had people who are internationally renowned for their psychoactive ability, their ability to manipulate and control people. I only would ever attempt to control someone in self-defense. I never do it proactively because it's totally inappropriate and extremely illegal. So, do not try to psychoactively manipulate me or I will have to block you. And if you exist in my real life and you try to psychoactively manipulate me, I will have to take control. And I will only do so in self-defense, which is provable in court. And you will wake up wondering what happened yesterday, and I will have done nothing to you except get you to forget that I ever existed. And then when you see me again, you'll say, oh, where do I know that guy from? But you will never have met me, technically. So let's not play that game. Please and thank you.
Gonna stop for a little bit. So James thinks, if you show someone a doctored photo of themselves in an interview setting, in this thing they did 2 real memories and a false memory. 50% of people thought that they actually went on a balloon ride or went on this Viking ship ride or something when they actually didn't. So James has tricked his mind, or he's just, this is another bullshit out. But he thinks the videos of him are doctored, and he thinks these are real memories because people have showed them it and he's been tricked or something, and this is his way of coping because he can't accept reality. Or it's just a way to bullshit the audience. Either way, it's crazy. Either way, it's crazy. James is a crazy guy.
It's being done to me. I'm not okay with it being done to anyone that I associate with. If you are someone that's okay with it being done to you, I'd prefer not to associate with you. I just don't like it. I'm a freedom guy. I like freedom. I like my liberties. I like America. And I don't like the games. Thanks, Chris.
That's why it was
Especially
mean.
when I'm at an emotionally...
It was mean of King Cobra's dad, Clint, to Photoshop Cobra as an alien as a kid and be like, you were actually an alien and we adopted you. And Cobes believed it. That was kind of mean.
And that's it. See, he says I have a lot to teach. And that was the red flag for me. I know you're still in here. I muted you. I didn't block you, so you could sit here and listen. You want to learn? Now you get to learn. You want me to teach? Now I teach. You can start with learning the fact that you shouldn't have said what you said in my broadcast. So
do you think he misses me? I don't even try to go in anymore. I don't feel like it. Maybe he wants me to go back. Maybe that's why he's calling me and shit.
That I have a lot to teach, or that I'm mature for my age. That's a red flag for a manipulator. Still smiling. Thank you. I tried. And see, even that is technically, that's technically a manipulative comment. But the reality is, at least the comment you're making doesn't dig deep. You're either just trying to make me feel better, or using basic social tactics to assert control. But one way or the other, you're not crossing a psycho-emotional personal boundary, if that makes any sense. No matter your intention, you're not being overbearing. Chris, thanks for the follow.
Takes everything so personally.
Thanks for the follows. You're welcome. And I say you're welcome because what I'm sharing is, stuff that it's skills that, and information and knowledge that's worth a lot to even just say out loud, let alone the education required to gain the knowledge of the information and put into practice to create the wisdom, and then to practice for so often and so long that it becomes muscle memory. So, when I use those skills or I share this information or this knowledge with you, I'm sharing my wisdom for free, so you're welcome.
Man.
And then protecting you from people.
I just like to picture there's little like people inside of James' brain that like just throw words into his mouth, and they're really proud of themselves. So they're like, we got so many nice words. Fucking, I can't even remember them now because I have short-term memory loss. But muscle memory, fucking. But shit.
And take a walk, because I have learned in my life when it's time to take a walk and when it's not.
I have other stuff to show you guys.
So when I push myself so hard that I'm lightheaded, it's time to take a walk. It's time to, to de-stress and decompress and relax a little bit. Now, what I used to do, if y'all remember, I used to live stream so often. I used to live stream 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day. Yeah. Sometimes I would live stream for over a day. Sometimes I'd live stream 3 days in a row, literally. And I talked so much. I would talk for 8. I built up my lungs to the point where I was able to talk 8 to 10 hours straight in a row, if not more. Literally.
I didn't break enough ribs as a baby.
Insanity is an understatement. Don't even ask me how I did it. I have no idea how I did it.
I don't either. It's unfortunate.
And by the way, be very careful. If you ever try to get a confession out of me, I don't care, even if you are law enforcement. If I do not have proof that you are law enforcement, I will lie to you. If you are trying to get a confession out of me, and I tell you to stop, and you refuse to stop trying to get a confession out of me, and you are not wearing a badge and are in uniform at that point in time, I will lie to you, because you have not earned my truth. You do not deserve answers about my life. And thus, if you question me, you will not get the truth. It's called disinformation and misinformation. If I am not aware that you are an officer, I cannot be held liable for lying to you. That's a fact. That is the law.
James asked me if I was an undercover officer, and I was like, no, James, I'm not a fucking undercover officer. It's like, good. So I can talk to you normally. I'm like, yeah, James, Jesus Christ.
To be a retired officer, or you claim to be off duty, and I have never seen proof that you are an officer. If you and I get into an altercation, it is illegal for you to charge me with the crime of assaulting an officer, and it is illegal for you to claim that I have lied to law enforcement, because you don't have the proper documentation to prove that you have proven to me that you were an officer before the time or during the time of the altercation or the questioning that involved lies. I have every right as an American to lie to your face if I want to. And if you question me without proof that you're an officer, and I refuse and tell you to stop questioning me, I will lie to your face. And I'm informing you of that to be kind and to save you time in case you should ever try to invest hours and months, or say up to 2 years, into investigating me while claiming to either be an undercover officer or an off-duty officer or a retired officer. I am not held responsible and cannot be held responsible legally for anything that I've lied to you about, because you never proved to me that you were an officer. I never saw a badge, never saw a badge number to look up. And
lying was illegal, though, James? Remember his fucking Instagram post being like, lying is illegal?
Into the day and age where we're about to have our society run by a totalitarian president, we are going to have to be very careful and vigilant as citizens, and we have to look out for one another, because we are, at least if you're a Californian, living in a police state to begin with. And we're about to be under the rule of a president who is a police promoting president. I like the police. No offense to anybody that doesn't. I actually do like the police, because they personally challenge me every day and keep me sharp in a civilian environment, on a level that would equal, what my, operational proficiency once was. They're very, very intelligent, very sharp, very capable. Yeah. And I learn a lot from them. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm smart enough to realize that they're cops. I'm smart enough to pay attention and give the proper respects to them when they say to me, hey, I'm your friend, but remember, I'm a cop. Because they're reminding you, that their job is to do whatever it takes to get a conviction. So, like I said, cops, and I admit that.
Oh, James, you fucking thing.
Also,
We walk. Who killed JFK? Probably.
I'm not putting on.
What is going on with them? Both of the things are frozen glitchy. Come on.
Right now, very, very cool. And I think it's good. It's healthy for the community. Some people get mad about it, or like the cops chased all the motorbike riders that didn't have their license plates. They chased them out of town. They do that in Philly, or at least they used to do that in Philly, where they used to what do you call it? They used to in Philly ride their bike.
Is it what? Rather what? Oobabula? Rather oobabula. Fried, drive, and still alive. That's
their
right.
dirt bikes. They used to ride their dirt bikes through town. I don't know if they still do it in Philly or through the city. I say town because that's just how I think of Philly. Remember, I'm only 30 years old. Anyway, with that said, so they ride their motorcycles through town, but we also do have we don't really have that in Hollywood anymore because of the fact that the police chased them out of town, which I have to admit to you I'm glad about, because it was cool to see them riding through town on their dirt bikes, but it was very, very unsafe for everybody. As far as the bicycles, seeing there's like 50 of them together or 30 of them together, and they're taking up the whole road. I mean, if everybody could just let them do it, that would be pretty cool, because I personally think it's awesome and healthy for the community for the kids to be safe enough to go out and just do their thing like that. As long as they're, together, they're not, it's not gang activity. They're not, riding around with a gun strapped to their back and, a mask on and gang signs on their arms. They're, kids that are just riding down the street and all riding together. And I thought that was very cool. But we also here in Hollywood do have a group of bikers that have license plates that get together and they have a show. I'd say they go down Hollywood Boulevard maybe once a week or once a month. And it's pretty cool. They all ride together and they have all their lights on and they come down the boulevard. I don't remember the frequency of when they do it, but it's usually anywhere from once a week to once a month.
Don't know, motorcycles have fucking license plates.
Thanks for the share, Mimi. Thanks for the hearts.
Right?
Thanks for
right,
the follow,
Tinkerbell,
Isabella.
license plates, yeah.
Danny, thanks for the follow. Yeah, and I'll tell you the truth, too. Thanks for the hearts. On top of that, to give credit to this community, to give credit to the Hollywood community, I have to tell you, they helped piece me back together. So I used to be not a spy, or an information gatherer, but I was an operator. I was an independent operator. And what that means is I did some very, very interesting stuff. And I came home and my brain didn't work right. I didn't remember a lot of stuff. I'm still relearning a lot of languages. But the community of Hollywood as a whole, during my homeless experience, spent a lot of time reteaching me how to socialize and get along in society. And so while most people would say that's not how we do it here, we don't give people credit, we don't talk about that, we leave it unsaid. For all of you who appreciate the defense that I provide to the Hollywood community and the things that I do for the Hollywood community that people don't know about, you can thank the homeless community, because they pieced me back together when I came home hobbling and almost dead.
Like Humpty Dumpty. I mean, yeah, last place he was Pennsylvania. Before that, he was like a nomad. He was just homeless all over the place.
Moved to Hollywood, and they picked me off the ground, and just brought me back to life. Well, one piece at a time, and it took 2 years, but now I'm finally to a point where the only part of my life that has anything to do with homelessness in reference to my situation is not having a proper address.
Yeah,
So
the
I'm
definition
doing really
of
good,
homelessness.
like really, really good. And the majority of the effort put in and how much better I'm doing is from the homeless community. It's not from the government. It's not from the organizations that helped as best as they could. The majority of the effort, about 60, before you see statistics on the internet, I will tell you 60 to 70% of the effort put in to me getting back to health and on my feet, besides my own personal efforts and my own situation, you can give the credit to the homeless community in Hollywood. They're the ones that helped put me back on my feet. And like, even they're out there doing drugs, and they kept me off of drugs. They didn't let me anywhere near them.
Yeah, they don't want you doing their drugs.
Pot. They
Those
didn't
are
let
their
me anywhere
drugs.
near the pot. They were fighting and hurting each other, and they wouldn't let me anywhere near any of. I can tell you that during 2 years of being homeless in Hollywood, I think I've seen 2 or 3 fights total in 2 years. And that is mostly because over the past couple of years, the homeless community came together and decided, hey, we're not going to put up with this anymore. We're not going to continue living this way. We're going to make our lives better. And so a lot of the homeless community did decide to up their standard and do better. And a lot of us are doing a lot better. You'd be surprised if you came out here and you saw some of the homeless people that you might already be familiar with. Most of us are doing a lot better. Thanks for the follow. Interesting. It is interesting. Jade, thanks for the follow. And it's because when you ask for people's help, usually they give you help. If you come to people with a humble attitude instead of pride, they usually help you. And so for me, when I came home to I came home and then I moved to Hollywood, I knew that I was out of my depth. I knew that operationally I was fully capable of dominating the situation, right? But it was like being out of order or being out of service. I was improperly decommissioned and totally incapable of social interaction. I was incapable of handling myself. I didn't really understand even how to talk to people at that point. I didn't remember how to, it was really difficult to like reacclimate to society. And, a lot of people stepped in to help me to get healthier again and, to get healthy. And, I don't have any record of what happened to me. I don't have any proof. I don't have, I not only do I not have anyone not to ask questions to, but I don't have anyone to sue. I don't have an enemy to blame. I don't have a friend to lean on about that, the whole experience of what I do remember. And, I don't have any proof of it having ever happened. So I don't talk about it to anybody at all because I don't feel they believe me anyway. And
I like how in James's story, he was like Helen Keller when he got to town and they had to teach him everything over again and to teach him the English language. He's going to teach him the other languages, how to walk, how to eat, how to dance, how to rap.
It puts me at risk, far more at risk of being marked as someone who's clinically insane because, the statistical likelihood of someone being homeless or someone being clinically insane who's homeless is far higher than someone who isn't. So instead of putting myself in a position by talking about what had happened to me and what I went through prior to 2021, I kind of just don't talk about it at all. Like even my wife doesn't know. What had happened to me was during a short time where her and I were in separate spaces. We were together, but her and I were in 2 different places at that point in time. And I'll tell you, to this day, it's like I half regret never telling her that something happened because I was afraid she wasn't going to believe me. And I didn't want her like freaking out. It was during a time when we weren't getting along and I was really afraid of her leaving me, to tell you the truth. So I didn't tell her what happened. And I didn't even tell law enforcement. I literally didn't tell anybody what happened. I didn't tell any of my friends. I didn't tell any of my constituents or my business partners. I didn't tell anybody. And to this day, I still have not told anybody, and I will take it to my grave. But something happened to me that caused me to lose my memory. And I don't know if I just was in like a car crash or something happened, and I think something else happened. or
Aliens.
what my brain remembers actually happened.
Aliens.
Right? Like, I don't know if what I think I
It was
remember happened,
aliens.
or if I think something happened that didn't, and all that happened was that I got in like a car crash or something. So it happens to people where you get in a car crash and you have like a psychedelic experience while you're passed out, you know? And so for me, what happened was like something that wouldn't be real. So like I would imagine that it was just something that wasn't real, because it also happened when I got in a car crash. It was like it was literally like a month and a half after getting in a car crash. So I figure it was probably just some sort of repressed trauma, you know, like one night I passed out, and I just, whatever I went through during that car crash finally hit me, right? Like it finally registered in my brain or something, and the trauma kicked in. And so I had some sort of really crazy dream. And I woke up somewhere else, and I wasn't with my wife. And then we reconnected, and I'll tell you the truth, she thought that I was like sleeping with another person. She thought I was sleeping with somebody else. Ever since that point, ever since I woke up somewhere else, she thought I was sleeping with, well, honestly, she thought I was sleeping with a man. And I was like, listen, before recently, I was like, I was like against anybody that wasn't straight. Like I hated homosexuality. I hated any type, if what your identity is, or your anything. If you weren't, like, in my book, before 2021, in my book, if you weren't straight, I hated your fucking guts. I live in California now, so as you can imagine, I have a slightly healthier perspective than I once had. And if you weren't straight and white, I pretty much just wanted you dead. And then I had a near-death experience, and ironically, I lost God instead of finding him, which is usually the opposite, right? When you become a good person, it's when you find God. But, when I didn't die, I was like, well, God must hate me, so he's probably not real, because God wouldn't hate me and keep me alive like this. So, I had a near-death experience, and now I'm a very accepting person. But
now
my wife
doesn't
really agree with, my view. Maybe she does. Maybe she's changed since I've last seen her. But there's a possibility that she hasn't. So I always account for that. But I'm much more mature than I was last time I saw her. So
this summer, James needs to find out who he is, and wakes up in a room. I don't remember who I am, and all I smell is fish. And then loses his memory and gains fish-ass smell after a tragic car crash the alien saved him from. What a fucking movie.
And so imperative to maintain discretion about that. I was told by someone, I suppose, in this dream or whatever it was, if it really happened, I don't know. To this day, I don't know. That I can't tell anybody ever for the rest of my life, or that it would cost me my life if I ever told anybody. And I don't know why I take that seriously. I don't know why, to this day, I take the word of, a voice that I heard in what may have just been a dream during an experience I had after a car crash. But I can tell you that when I was younger, I had some experiences that were like more spiritual. And I had, spoken about things that I had experienced during these meditations. And it turned my whole situation awry. When the experiences I had, my intuition told me not to share anything about those experiences. And I had chosen to share about those experiences and ended up regretting, speaking on those experiences ever since. So this time around, with something that may or may not have happened to me, I try not to talk about it ever, And that has behooved me, and I've learned how to keep my mouth shut, ironically, because of my ability to not speak on something that may or may not have happened. And now I have a whole bunch of experiences in my life where I meet people that I technically never met. I do things that I technically never did. And what I mean by that is I now get to be involved in some of the most deep, dark, and
Does he mean the car crash when he crashed into the mountain and wrecked his car? And he had that cast on his foot, I think?
People who are private in the city. Like, I do stuff with people that even the most private people in the city don't know about. That they don't even know that they
Well, he did wreck his car. I forgot about that. That's why I was like thinking. I was like, has James ever even been in a car crash? He technically has.
never tell you. They won't. No matter what you do to them, you will never get that information out of them. And I know that for a fact. I've been bothered myself by some people saying, oh, you got to tell us, you got to do this, you got to do that. These are people that when I tell you they are untraceable, I don't know how they do it, but they are untraceable. It's absolutely amazing. They show up when you want them. When they want you to find them is when they show up. And it's like in a movie. It really is like in a movie where you don't even know they're there until you want them, until they know that you need their help, or vice versa if they need yours. If you're lucky enough to need theirs, then.
Yeah, because he said that he didn't tell anyone about losing his memory because he was scared about losing his ex at the time. So this would have had to have happened before the arrest.
Here that most people don't know about. And I
this
love
made
this
up
city.
story, like this story that probably didn't even fucking happen. Like we're trying to place a timeline for James's made up story here.
And the people that really run things, and I chose myself, as usual. And so now I get to kind of be associated, or at least, close to everyone in one way or another, just in different, alternate capacities based on, what part of society I'm operating in at whatever point in time. And so as of right now, I'm kind of just in my own world, minding my own business. And what I really like about that, just doing my own thing, is I get to see everybody and everything. I don't obviously catch and see everything all at once. But I am very good at individualizing my personal experience in society and drawing into myself and, kind of mentally pushing out every person that's in my environment from being a part of my experience. And so from that observatory perspective that most people don't have the ability to maintain, I see society in an observatory fashion in a way that most people never do. So I learn things about people that oftentimes they don't even know about themselves. And it's pretty cool. And there's only two types of people that are able to do that. People that are obsessed with themselves and people that are totally empty of themselves in that experience. And now the people that are full of
it's been broken a few times, but I think the priest was one of the breaks.
Of what's around them that is manipulated by their viewpoints of themselves and their opinion of themselves. And then the people that have the ability to remove themselves from their interior ego during that observatory experience, those are the people that truly have an open viewpoint on what they're seeing, that truly have an unbiased opinion about what they see. I'm not going to claim to be one or the other, but you can go ahead and surmise for yourself.
Okay, let me hear your answer. Choices. Okay. Did you choose the day you were born? Did you choose?
Did.
Did you choose the parents you got to be born to?
Yep.
Okay. Did you choose your gender or your height or your hair color?
I didn't choose that.
So you didn't have your choice in that.
Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the follows.
Okay.
Thanks for the gifts. No, I am straight.
Thanks for the beans. How many beans?
Do I get greased up offline? Like, do I put grease in my
1200
hair, or what do you mean? Do I eat greasy foods? That's the only type of greased up I know of. Well, I guess there's two other kinds. If you fix cars, or, if you fix vehicles, or I can't think of anything else. Fixing vehicles, eating greasy food, or putting grease in your hair. Those are the only three types of greasy I know of, or that I could think of. And I'm not lying to you. I'm actually, in that way, there's a potential that I may be naive, that I don't know of any other way but those three. But those are the three that I'm aware of. Homeless community deserves much more. Thank you, Rocky. Yes, we do. How? Oh, that's enough. That's not even a mute. That's a straight block. Sorry, bud. Please leave your ticket at the door. Thank you. That's something I'll do when I do have shows. If someone disrespects me during my show and they have to be escorted out the building,
Escorted.
which I assume is going
Escorted.
to happen, just because of some of the stuff I say, I am going to make them give up their
James
ticket.
is an escort.
If you come to my show
Kinda.
and you disrespect me during the show and you have to be removed, we're going to take your ticket off of you. You're not allowed to take it home with you.
What?
Any memorabilia that you buy, anything that you get, you'll get a full refund. But you're not taking anything that came
It's a
from
weird
me
metaphor.
home with you if you get kicked out of the show.
Clunky, weird metaphor, James. California. It's super cool to the homeless.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for the candy.
California.
Thanks for the star and the goblin. Thanks for the heart and glow sticks. Thank you. Where am I going? Honestly, I'm just walking around live streaming based on, human psychology. When you're walking around and looks like you're doing something, it's enough to keep people interested. And I don't have anything else to do today but live stream. Today's kind of a day off. So I'm just walking around. I have money. I just don't want to spend it. No point in spending it today. And I'll tell you, especially on Hollywood Boulevard, it does not take much to spend money. Pretty much every building from La Brea down to Gower is a building you could spend money in. So, it takes a lot of discipline, but being broke is not an option. And I know that pain, so it's very easy to save the money. Oh, now I'm just having fun with it. Because when you get to a certain point where you're like around in society and just like walking around and stuff, you kind of like get on a social cue with people to the point where you're just saying things in a way where they're like, you got to be like people think you're talking about them. People think you're referring to them. And you're literally just saying random stuff. Like, so me personally, I'm literally just saying random stuff to you. But I am on such a vibe with the social, like with the movement of people, that I am saying things that sound like I'm talking about people, but I'm genuinely just thinking about myself. Like, I'm not actually going out of my way to like either impress people, piss them off, or even talk about them. So if I'm saying things that sound like I'm doing that, I really am on like a celestial vibe where I'm not intentionally mentioning anyone. And thanks for finally seeing that I'm telling the truth. It took 2 years to get a little confirmation of like, okay, well, if you're doing it that often and you're not doing it on purpose, it's got to be true.
Why is that not capturing audio anymore now? Give me a second. What the? Hold up. What the fuck? There's audio coming out. There's not audio like showing up or registering. Anyway.
Walmart from my parents or from your parents, I could disappear on Hollywood Boulevard from law enforcement.
Oh, it's
So,
back now? Why is it?
Point
I don't know
proven.
what the fuck
Trust
happened.
built.
That was really
Hopefully
weird.
that I'm not going to
That
run
was
away, even though
weird.
I could. Hopefully now, the people whose job nor responsibility is it to keep me without a driver's license, without any legal reason to do so, could maybe allow me to get my driver's license so I could get driving again, because that would be really nice. I miss driving a lot. I was
I have a
really good at
car.
it too.
I'm gonna drive.
And as far as the car accidents that I've been in, I have never been in an accident that has endangered nor caused harm to any individual. That is a fact. Even when I had passengers, my passengers always were safe and they were okay. So, yeah. I really miss driving. Thanks for the hearts. Have I had food today? Yes, I ate this morning. I had a ham and cheese croissant. And I know everybody's trying to identify me. I'm in this weird place where it's like I don't have to worry about incarceration, which is really nice. But it's like a social gauge of fame. So it's like the easier it is for people to identify me, the more of my fame I get to engage with. But being in this position that I'm in where it's like kind of tough to keep up with my hygiene and constantly changing clothes, but then also trying to carry all those clothes with me and everything. It's like, right? It's like I'm trying to balance between having to sleep outside and being famous. And so whenever I hide from being identified, I'm not doing it because I'm not trying to hide from law enforcement. I'm trying to hide from being identified as a celebrity, literally. Because when that happens, unless you're someone that like works in the area, if it's like somebody who recognizes me or someone who just came to Hollywood to see celebrities, well, guess what happens? They don't care if you are just Joe Smo and lying about being a celebrity. They'll swarm you. Or if one tells the other one, hey, I know this guy, then that's what they do, right? So I've kind of just been incognito for the sake of my privacy and out of embarrassment about not really having, my life together the way I should have it. As far as like maintaining my hygiene properly and things of that nature. That's literally the only reason why I've been incognito. So I got all these people that are like trying to identify me and they're like, oh, he's definitely this, he's definitely that. And I'm like, it's the fact that I am embarrassed because I smell like fish and the street and piss and shit. And I'm famous while smelling like piss and shit and fish. And it's really fucking embarrassing.
It's so fucking James.
So I've come to a point where I don't have the
guess.
patience to wait any longer to come out of hiding. And if people want to make fun of me for my life situation, what I'm going through, I'm going to just try not to be mad at them. I'm going to try not to let it upset me when, let's say it's like, now I know, here's the thing. TMZ was once cruel enough to do that, but TMZ is no longer as cruel as they used to be. So I don't have to worry about them coming down on me, I don't think, anyway. But like, basic tabloids or random people like that, I'm safe on Hollywood Boulevard just because of the law and thanks to the Hollywood Partnership. But like I've already had people take me to like West Hollywood and places where they don't have like a public street security team. And dude, the paparazzi is bad. Like they're bad, dude. They don't care. Like I didn't know how bad it used to be even here. We're really lucky that we have the amount of security on the boulevard that we do. Because if it weren't for all the security we have, then, it wouldn't be safe to come onto the boulevard and just, trying to enjoy yourself, So, but like I've tried going to West Hollywood, and the only time I'm able to go to West Hollywood, and this is between us, and I don't really talk about this, so I'm not making it up and telling you the truth. The only time I have ever been able to go to West Hollywood without being swarmed is when I have private security with me, private undercover security. And I literally have to go with people that are known in the community for like decades as people that you do not mess with. That's the only way I've ever been safe to like leave Hollywood. And that is my secret reason as to why I feel disastrously uncomfortable and afraid to leave Hollywood. Convenient, but also true.
Dr.
Thanks for
Jones,
follows.
Dr. Jones,
Love to drive too.
Dr.
Cool.
Jones.
Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the donuts, bro.
Fish ass, fish ass.
Thanks for the hearts. Yeah, so I'm gonna make my way back up the boulevard. I still have like 4 hours till they close up, so I'm probably gonna head up the road and charge up my phone again. You know, for me,
Just doing a loop-de-loop or something that makes that connection go out. I have a rock in my slipper. How does that even happen?
it's just because of my social status. It's very difficult for me to have any type of privacy, and like people, you know, it's like I'll have somebody banging on the wall, or like, for example, I had a neighbor. He was my immediate neighbor, and he would play the guitar for me to hear, right? And as nice as that is, right, as endearing as that is of a compliment, you know, to say, okay, well, he wants me to hear how he plays and maybe give my opinion, or, you know, maybe do a little collab, that's cool. It's just like I'm in my own residence trying to, you know, even if it is a mental health facility, I'm in my own hotel room, I'm in my own room myself, just really blissfully hoping to be able to maintain privacy just long enough to get some sleep and to feel safe for 5 minutes. And then, you know, I got somebody playing the guitar next to me. I got somebody on the other end having their dog barking, you know, getting their dog to bark. And then somebody knocking on my window, like trying to get me to buy stuff off of them. Or then I go out back to try and have a smoke break, and it's like impossible to be alone.
Yeah, James.
Let me put it to you this way. I'm really glad that my experience
Homelessness
went the way that it did. I had a lot of fun with the people that I was there with. I'm very thankful for every single person that I met and the relationships that I built. I miss them. I didn't tell them I was leaving because I was afraid of being followed. But I am hoping to get a second chance. I'm hoping that
this is neighbor. Imagine. I play my guitar just so James can hear it. That's the only reason people be playing instruments. So James can hear beautiful sound. It's going a while. Oh, 6. Jesus. James, where's your audio? Audio on this one?
Day.
Wow.
Listen, there aren't a lot of places left in this country where community exists. There aren't a lot of places left in this country where when something goes down, people rally together instead of separate. This is one of the places left in this country, the beautiful places where everybody will act like they can't stand each other, but if something were to go down, we stick together. And it's just really rare nowadays, so, you know, gotta defend. It's the right thing to do. And so I try to do the same, you know, and that's another thing. I don't want to leave Hollywood, right? Like, I'm here. This community is mine as much as it is yours. I love this place. This is my home, right? This isn't like there was a day when Hollywood Boulevard was a travel destination. There was a time for me when Hollywood was a tourist destination. And then I came here without an ability to leave. And it became home. And now I don't want to leave. So even when they offer me somewhere to live outside of Hollywood, I don't want to take it because I love Hollywood. And I want to stay here. I want to defend Hollywood. I want to be a part of this community. I want to continue being a part of this community. You know? So we'll see what happens, but hopefully I just find a place here in the area. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the 20 beans there, Daniel. Excuse me. Thanks for the bean there, Freka. Thank you, Brooke. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Advanced to level 3. Very cool. Thank you. Yeah, so for me, you know, things are good. I'm just like, it's difficult because people don't understand that celebrity status in America is measured differently than it is anywhere else in the world. So in America, you can be a celebrity and make everybody move out of the way. Or you could be a celebrity and you can go and you can walk on the street and get out of people's way and be respectful, right?
Keanu Reeves.
Me personally, I choose to get out of the way. I like to get out of the way because that's the way I was raised. I was taught to be polite and respectful. And if I have the young body that grants me the ability to move out of the way when someone needs me to move out of the way, that's what I do, right? But most countries in this world don't really operate that way. They don't really live that way. It's like if you're a celebrity in another country, it's kind of like people are expected to get out of your way, right? Or you're expected to kind of move people out of your way. Whereas for me, I'm not raised that way. I'm not taught that way. And so, you know, I'm at a stage in the game where it's like I have the A-list thing going, but I have the social position of where people think me to be much less. And if I prove to be much less in their opinion by stepping out of the way, I officially am the nobody to most people. And that's fine with me, you know, because I'm secure and comfortable with where my life is at. I have a pretty good life's position. The gift that I was given is 100% a facade, or at least 50% a facade. And I like it that way. I don't want it to be real, or it wouldn't be Hollywood. And that's how I see it. If it wasn't movie magic, it wouldn't be Hollywood. Yeah, I want you to be aware that I am intentionally stepping right into a situation that would otherwise be considered a setup. But I'm doing it to prove that I'm not actually being set up. There's another person being set up. But if you guys want me to catch the guy that actually did it, you got to drop the setup thing. Like this time I don't need the reversal. You kind of just like, see, I just got it. It's done. Identified. We good? All right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just did it. It taken 13 months. I just did it in 15 seconds. I'm not kidding. Let's move on. Can I get some beans? Did I earn any internet beans today? Can we feed my dino?
No.
Thanks for the tickets. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for the tickets. I'm coming off like aggressive, but seriously, thank you. Thanks for the crown and the beans, Ivy. On getting housing, yeah, like I said, I'm waiting on that right now. We're figuring that out right now. I try to be careful because I'll tell you what, anytime I have ever heard of an American celebrity being homeless, the only thing I've ever seen happen is them being dead. Like they last a little while and then something happens to them. That's all I've seen. So that's why I'm trying to be very careful and maintain respect. I ask for mercy from people who do mercy, and I stand up to people that don't do mercy. And that's kind of just where my life is at. Because it's like what the other thing is, like in any other country in the world, celebrity status can be lost. In America, celebrity status can't be lost. You can't lose it, literally. So once you got it, you got it. And even if you're homeless, you're still a celebrity, you're still famous. And if somebody doesn't like you, you're more vulnerable and more at risk. But still, being treated equally, you still get an equal amount of resources provided to you. You get the same amount of, access to assistance as every person around you. And that's exactly how it should be, right? But admittedly, it does make it a little bit more difficult for those of us who have had previous privileges. And I'm working that out. The experiences most definitely humbled me to a point where I've been smart enough to keep my mouth shut when necessary and keep my mouth open pretty much all the time, just not always saying something that doesn't need to be said.
Definitely keeps his mouth open all the time. Like 100% keeps his mouth open all the time.
Thanks for the follows. Thanks for hearts. You've reached level 6. Congratulations. I did get a message. I'll answer you in a little bit. But I am going to be coming off of here pretty soon. I got to go charge up my phone. But I have to tell you, based on everything I've told you, people are rather respectful of my privacy. It's convenient. I should say, of all things, it's very convenient. Yeah, so a guy tells me I'm no longer being set up. No, I'm not being set up because I identified your target for you. You're welcome. Target meaning perp, like criminal. But they got him last year and they let him go. So they're going to have him again. Obvious reasons. Robert, thanks for the follow. I'm not a cop or anything. It's just sometimes they're trying to pick up somebody they can't find who's like me personally, the only time I help the cops is when they're after somebody that's like really bad. Like, oh, excuse me. Like serial killer, rapist, child molester, like one that like, and when it comes to the really heavy stuff, if you don't have proof, I ain't going for it. So like, I'm not stupid. Like the only times I've ever helped the cops is when they have proven to me without a shadow of a doubt, without any outside opinion, that the person they're pursuing is guilty. If they don't already know that the person they're pursuing is definitely guilty of what they're claiming, I don't help. But if they are guilty and they've proven it to me, then I do it. And I hunt them. God's honest truth, I hunt them down like an animal. No mercy.
Animal.
No, what do you call it? I just, and if I haven't been asked, then I don't do it because I'm not a cop. So if I'm walking right behind somebody who has done some of the most disgusting and vile things on the planet, it's none of my business because the cops didn't ask me to do anything about it. I'm not Superman. I'm not a narcissist. I don't have a psychotic superhero complex. I'm just a guy that has a lot of skills. And when law enforcement in this country, in America, requests of me, okay, when anybody in the world wants my fucking help, as long as they can prove it's going on and it doesn't impede on my ability to survive, I try to help. Okay, what I'm saying is I have a 100% success rate. So if I don't know I can get them, the person, then I don't do it. But if I know I can get them, I get them. But it's just becoming more and more difficult to do what I do as my social attention level gets higher. And at this point in my life, with wanting to maintain fame as a potential monetary source, you like monetizing, creating an income out of my name and out of my likeness, anonymity becomes more difficult. And so the typeset of people that I pursue has shifted. And I've come into a situation where now I essentially have to utilize my namesake and utilize my social attention to catch the person. Because otherwise, my income starts to fall off. So, not that I'm making a whole lot to begin with, but I lose money very quickly if I try hiding. So I don't get to hide near as much as I used to. I don't have as much privacy as I used to. Thanks for the follows. Great persistence, and that's what pays off in the end. Thank you. Yeah, like literally just last week, I'm not doing this again, and I don't have anybody yet telling me whether or not something's classified or if it's just private information. So until you tell me, I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. If you don't give me the info, then I'm not going to shut my mouth. Last week, I caught a bomber in another country. I caught somebody trying to.
And we're not ashamed. You see that? So there's two verses for the word.
I caught somebody trying to set off a bomb in another country.
We're not ashamed because we have it.
I did it over the internet. And that one, the government, for the most part, doesn't even know about in our country. And I'm not going to say who helped me do it, but holy mother of God. Guys, in this country, we have so many intelligent people, and it doesn't take much. I'll just leave it at that. But I have to go, because I have to charge. And I'm very thankful. Thanks for the hearts. I'm very thankful that I have the opportunity to have freedom, like I do in this country, that I only help when I want to help, and I don't have to help when I don't want to. Because that is definitely a privilege a lot of people don't have. But I'm most effective when I'm not being pushed. So, being that my level of proficiency goes down when I'm pushed, it's nice not to get pushed. Back streaming later, probably before I go to bed, possibly not. We'll see what happens. Thanks for sharing the live stream. Have a good night. Peace. Jimmy, thanks for the follow. Taylor's, thanks for the follow. I thank you. But even if that is, let's say that's really her, I ain't gonna say, because it's not that we're not there. It's just that I may or may not be in the middle of something, and I don't find out till I sit down and plug my phone in. So just in case I'm in the middle of something I don't know about yet, I'm gonna go plug my phone. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for feeding my dino. And I'll stand here and wait till we're done with the thank yous. That's always a good thing, especially considering we got a couple of beans tonight. Thanks for the hearts. Of course it was me. Who else would it have been? Thanks for the beans.
Of course it was me.
Now I swear, if I see them come overhead before I get inside, I'm gonna be.
I don't know what he was talking about there. I love when he just ends the live like that. I love how he decides to end the live like right. He's boring the fuck out of me. Well, maybe not boring. I just like, I don't know. I don't want my whole life to just be watching crazy people. So I was like, I'll play some fucking Black Ops. But no, because James is like, we're done. We're done with the fucking day now. Damn. So give me a sec. I gotta like switch my screens back over. That's super fucking annoying. But here, just a second. Pause that out of here. Pull this back up here. We can get rid of this, and why is it? There we go. I got rid of that. Why is it still there? So, the other day, yesterday? I think it was yesterday, right? I missed like the first 10 minutes of the live, the first live he did. And then I think there was, no, we did watch the bit that we missed the other live, but then there was like this 4-minute live that ends up being like 2 minutes technically that I didn't even know happened. Snarky gave me a copy of it. So I have those and a 15-minute live he did. So there's like the first 10 minutes of the first live he did yesterday that we missed. A 15-minute live that I didn't stream because right when I was about to, he ended it. So I was like, well, fuck it. I need to finish editing Heather Body Cam. And then this random 4-minute live that's really only 2 minutes because the other half of it, he is not there. Like it just goes into the lines and then he ends the live. So we'll show, I haven't seen any of them. So we'll watch those and then we'll call it quits for the day. Unless he goes live again, then I'll probably come back. But there's no other, I don't have any other stream planned for today. I was kind of hoping to get some things done in my life, but can't do that. I'm just exporting this real quick on the other side here. It is the 23rd. This would be the first video of the day. Export. So let me find the thing. Okay, come. I don't even like having this shit up here, but there was what, the 22nd was yesterday. This is first one. And then we have, oh, he also did a YouTube video. Forgot about this, so we'll do this one. This the one that, 15-minute one. And then I think this is the 4-minute one. So this is all the stuff I have to show you guys. This is what we're behind on right now because I had to edit stuff for the Heather stream yesterday. So we'll watch these. What order do they go in? I think this is the most latest one. So we'll minimize this. This is the one we need first. And then oh, here's this is 518, and then this is, yeah, okay, then this one, then this one. I have figured it out. You guys ready? You guys ready? I'm ready. Think. Rev just put out another video. Fat shaming foodie beauty. Shani and Rev have zero self-awareness. Yeah, well that is pretty crazy. Have Rev's videos been any good? Should we look into him? Should we look into him this weekend?
Brad, what's up? Where am I? I am in Beverly Hills or somewhere like that. I'm on Santa Monica Boulevard. I'm by Melrose. Is it Melrose? No, what is it called? It's like super famous. Everybody loves going there. All rich people go there.
Melrose Place. Yeah?
It slips my mind. I can't remember it because I'm so pissed off I don't care to, remember it.
Why is he pissed? This was, the first stream from yesterday. Maybe we'll find out. I'm trying to remember yesterday. I can't even remember if he was pissed or not. But I guess we'll find out why. Maybe we'll get into it.
So what I'm saying is I remember, but fuck you. So, don't matter to me right now. Not at all. So here's what happened. I
Rodeo Drive?
came all the way down up from Hollywood down to, what do you call it? Well, it's kind of like West Hollywood right now where I'm at. And, I was supposed to go to a job and work landscaping with this guy. Well, I'll tell you what, he's been living here, I guess, 50-something years. He knows all the bus drivers. He's a Latino, came into the country illegally himself.
Wasn't there a show called Melrose Place, though?
I'll go ahead and get a landscaping job where I'm getting paid cash, and I don't have to worry about it. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what this guy does? Now, it's because I'm white, by the way. Gets me a ride down on a bus, down to West Hollywood. And you know what the bus driver does? Now this is with me having my pack like I'm not dressed to the T's, right? I'm not dressed properly to be in this neighborhood. So the guy gets me a bus ride all the way down to West Hollywood or wherever the hell we're at, and or where I'm at. And bus driver doesn't stop at the stop he was supposed to. Didn't stop at that bus stop at all. And then takes me an extra mile down the road.
But does James say it rodeo? Or does he say it rodeo? Rodeo. I feel like I'm messing myself up now.
To Beverly Hills. To Rodeo. To Rodeo.
Oh, no. He does it right.
Drive. So I'm out here with a military pack. And I'm dressed like a bum. And I look ridiculous. And I was supposed to go on a landscaping job. So I guess he's trying to teach me a lesson. And the lesson that I learned is enjoy whatever country they take you back to. Because I don't play and you don't mess with my time.
James has never been in any country outside of America.
He's lucky that my people don't get to him before I get him deported. Dead serious. I'm only getting him deported so he doesn't get killed. Donald Trump just won the election. That's everything that I come from and tried to get away from. And now, here he's going to be the president of this state too. So that's fantastic. But either way...
he's the president of all the states, but yeah.
I'm going to get him removed because otherwise, with this guy coming in as president, my people, like within 15 minutes of me getting off the bus, or I'm sorry, within 15 minutes of that bus missing the stop, my people are already reaching out to me asking, wait a second.
What, he read Rodeo Drive as Rodeo Doctor once? Or Rodeo Doctor?
Why didn't you get off at that stop? And it would have only been a matter of time before they found out what happened. So, there's nothing I could do about it. But he tried to make a fool out of me, and, well, unfortunately, he successfully made a fool out of me, so it's going to cost him his citizenship.
Damn.
He got it illegally anyway. So,
Damn.
It's not fair. I'm a citizen. Yeah, but you cheated to become a citizen. So, end of story. I don't like to play with that. I'm a sanctuary type of guy. I'm one of the people that helped get Los Angeles, converted to a sanctuary city, just in case we ended up. What do you call it? Just in case we ended up. Sorry, those people are completely not where they're supposed to be.
Where are they supposed to be?
Anyway, yeah. So you guys can go ahead and clean up all that. I don't want it anywhere near me. It's all a bunch of trash anyway. As I was saying, so I'm walking back, and I'm going to have to walk all the way back because this scumbag knows all the bus drivers. And now, even if I got cash, the bus drivers won't let me on the bus.
In what world? In what world would the bus drivers be like, oh no, that's fucking Step. He's not doing famous people stuff. Don't let him on the bus. Bill told me not to let this guy on.
If a bus driver, they won't let me on the bus. So we're just going to get a whole bunch of Latino bus drivers fired, which really sucks because I'm not a racist. But it's going to look super racist when we get a whole bunch of Latino drivers fired. But considering they're
It's always with the bus drivers. He has such a resentment for bus drivers. It's weird.
not stopping at the stops when they see me, and the guy that got me to ride down here knows all the bus drivers, it's a race issue. So I'm taking care of it. And also saying it just loud enough to make sure people that think they're involved in the situation can get themselves involved, and then we can wrap them up in that. And
well, when we came into this live, he was saying he had like $4,000 in his pocket, but he's not going to take the bus back on principle. So he's going to walk all the way back to Hollywood, and that's also going to blow off steam. So then, he's not going to be so upset by the time he gets home, which I guess is Gower Street. It's a whole bunch of hokey pokey baloney. Why is that bopping up and down?
find out who's a problem and who isn't, and we'll just get rid of the problems and keep the ones that aren't. So he wanted to be the big man. Well, today he gets to be the big man, and tomorrow I'll be the man that wasn't a part of the problem at all. And the best thing to do is when you got the ladies involved in it, get them obsessed, because then the men, no matter what they try, can't get their women off the issue. And it fucks with their whole situation. And then when push comes to shove, when somebody tries to fuck you up, you can get ahead of it. And that is part of why I keep my wife 3,000 miles away from me. We hate each other.
It's like James has any say in the matter at all. We hate each other, so we just want to not be around. What the fuck did his eye filter do here? It doesn't look like he has eyeballs at all. That is freaky. Look at that shit. For real, look at just black voids.
So, that. You want to be trash? Be trash. I don't have time for it. I just keep her out of the drama. And people are like, oh, we're going to go mess with your wife. I'm like, do you want me to give a phone call to the last guy who tried? He doesn't speak very well anymore. That's just how it is, man. I'm not violent, but I'll tell you what, when a wood chipper shows up and somebody offers to throw you in it, you get a little defensive. And nowadays, that just seems to be commonplace. Very unfortunately, but it is. I just don't like getting involved in it. And when people force me into that situation, well, I'll tell you what, if you expect me to choose you over my own country, I'm not going to do it. Especially considering, you're threatening me. Or duping me. And I'll tell you what, I have people in my life that tried to warn me. They're like, just understand, these aren't your people. They're going to screw you over if you piss them off. I said, no, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And so I did. And now I'm out here looking like an asshole. Looking like a motherfucking homeless guy.
Looking like a homeless guy. You are a homeless guy. It's weird that he swaps back and forth from coming to terms with this homelessness and then just being in denial of it.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So, the Latinos are having a good laugh today, but I'm going to remember it when January comes around. I will. So, I guess what I'm telling you is if you're not white, stay in my good graces because I'm not in a good mood.
And this is where we came in at, I think. At least this is where my recording picks up at. If you're not white, stay away from me because I'm not in a good mood. I'm not racist though, guys. I'm just James Soroka, the guy who says the N-word and says things like that. Things of that nature. So that's what we missed pre-yesterday's stream. Get rid of that now. And then the next one was this one. Incognito. Only a 15-minute stream. That I did not snipe.
Well, I went and I'm picking up my packages, and I'm dressed, incognito, and you know how it is in the industry. They're like, we have control of you. We're going to do what we say. I'm like, I don't think you understand that I'm an American. Before I'm anything else, I am an American.
So this was his incognito look yesterday, going to pick up packages. Apparently, they thought he was a bomber or something, and he ran away. I don't even think he picked up his packages. If word on the street is accurate.
And so, there's two people pointing at me, making it look like on the security cameras as though I have a bomb, right? And I'm not going to lie to you, I cracked up. Because I'm like, I'm over here waiting to do a live stream. So these scumbags that want to make it look like I got a bomb, I want another word other than scumbag, because I use that word way too much. You trash motherfuckers need to find something better to do.
Could you picture John Allgood saying this? I can kind of picture John Allgood saying this. I don't know why this popped into my head.
Never defused a bomb. So you ungrateful losers need to find another country to fuck with, okay? You want our shit, you can earn it. You want what I got, you can earn it, all right? So to those of you who think that you are creating leverage when you try to make it look like I got a bomb, you can suck my big fat cock. And if you want me to be socially appropriate, you can earn that shit too.
Inspector Fish Ass. I read Fish Bomb as I was like trying to sing that.
You had socially appropriate until you try to take advantage
Inspector Fish Ass
of me and take control of my life. You made a huge mistake. I am probably one of 5 people in the entire country that is an American that you cannot play this game with. You didn't know. You didn't learn. This is the second time we've gone through this. You will go through it a third time. I won't. I only went through it a second time to learn a couple of things, but I am very excited to watch the oldest of old schools spin in a circle while I get to move forward. This holy mother of God that I earn it. Thanks for the hearts.
Mother God?
So I went in there, I grabbed my packages like a boss. And when they're pointing at me being a bunch of assholes, I just walked over to the trash can and threw out my shit.
What? You threw out your packages?
Started up my live stream. And that was it. Good afternoon, Mario. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for the hearts. Yeah, I notice I keep saying what I'm saying, and I got my pack. If you see my pack, it's huge. And it looks like a... Yeah. Not my problem. So here's what I'm saying. I have you-know-who on my side with all this, which is good. When I say you...
God? Elon Musk? That guy who's kind of like Elon Musk, but secretive? Who has the satellite on you?
Know who I'm talking about, like law enforcement and whatnot, right? So I'm essentially working together with everybody that I got to take on these huge-ass criminal organizations that think they have the right to take advantage of U.S. citizens. They're not taking these people on purpose. I'm kind of just taking them on my own, and then they're just like cleaning up after me when I trip over my own dick.
James got a laugh out of me. Trip over your own dick, huh?
So, you know, it's not like we're actually working together. I'm just kind of like doing stuff that has to get done, and they're like, would you please stop? And I'm like, I'll stop when they stop. And they're like, can everybody just get along? And I'm like, we can, when they stop trying to control my life. And we're getting there. Slow but sure.
The infamous they.
We're getting there. So what lesson did we learn today? Today we learned not to set up James Soroka.
Oh. We're using his real name today? Not Step, not Step, not fucking Hurricane 5000 or whatever else he goes by.
We learned that we do not try to make him look crazy. We do not try to make him look like a criminal. And we most certainly do not try to make it look like he has a bomb. Because he doesn't. And no matter what you cover it up as, I will weasel my fucking way out of anything you
can weasel your way out of jail 3 times.
Try to shove onto me. Any situations you put me in, anything you put.
You also like wouldn't be having to weasel your way out if you weren't actually a part of it. It would just be a case of mistaken identity or whatever, right?
Me through. I will find a way out of it. I will find a way through it. And now that you know, it's time to learn. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the beans.
Floxy Fox? Floxy Fox at Bugs Bunny?
Our network and what we got going on is far more connected and more powerful than anything that you're doing. And you know it. I want to work for you because I prefer to set the example for the public. Because I'm someone that can do that. And when
why is he talking to us like we're 5 years old?
I'm not being disastrously inappropriately provoked, I'm pretty good at it. So my recommendation is that the next time you want me to do something you want me to do, try positive affirmation, try encouraging behavior, because trying to set me up is just going to get you incarcerated. Or worse. But thank you, and have a good day. Thanks for the bean.
Imagine he just dropped the mic there. Now he goes for another 2 times over.
Yeah. So essentially, a lot of the people that document what I do unveil cover-ups.
Me? I document everything James does.
I don't work with them, but they hound me and they stalk me all day, every day, whether I want them to or not. So my recommendation is that you do not try to turn this on me, because it will not go well. Trust me. You will be giving prime content. Sounds sick, doesn't it? It is what it is. To some of the most nosy individuals you will ever meet. Thanks for the follows.
Who's he saying that to? If you mess with me, you'll be giving prime content to the most nosiest individuals you'll ever meet. Are we the nosy individuals? Are we the bad guy? I don't have no idea. Maybe we're not even like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, stop smoke. Maybe we're not even in this equation.
Am I homeless? Yeah. Technically. The only way that I'm homeless is where I struggle to get an address. So
yeah, like the literal definition of homelessness.
Essentially, you know, a major organized criminal organization is trying to keep me from having my documentation because they want to control what I say, what I do, where I go, who I talk to, all that. And I already won this battle and this war with them. And now all I have to do is wait for them to secede, and they will. There's a few of us that win that battle. Not many, but a few. And so I just have to wait for them to give in and say, okay, We're going to trust you without having to control your decisions. We're going to trust you without having leverage. But I have to wait for them to get to that point.
So you watch her stuff on Heather, but she's laying low and watching this. This guy is basically the male version of Heather. Like, if Heather was a guy, this would be her. Except he only has one kid that he doesn't have custody of, who he'll never see. His restraining order on him, or a protective order on him from his ex. I went to jail 3 times. First time I went to jail, it was because he hit his pregnant girlfriend on the side of the road, and there was witnesses, and they arrested him. And then he violated the restraining order when he got out of jail, went back to jail, and then got out again, violated again, went back to jail again. So now he's back out. First thing he did was say a bunch of death threats to me, and then he's just been rambling all this crazy nonsense ever since. And he's like, sometimes like, maybe I'll go to Pennsylvania, maybe I won't. Actually, for the most part, he says he's staying in Hollywood, which is good. He should stay in Hollywood, just be a crazy person on the streets there, that's fine. He's got one rule: stay the fuck out of Pennsylvania. So that's what we're watching him for. And that's like, I guess, the quickest rundown I can do.
Right now, they're kind of at the point where they're starting to give up, but they haven't fully given it just yet. But we'll get there. Gang stalking is real. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not being gang stalked. I'm not. The people that are following me around and documenting stuff that I'm doing are people that are like conspiracy obsessed. They're people that, you know, there's no other way to say it. They're conspiracy obsessed.
I like to think that I don't believe in any conspiracy theories. I'm pretty, like, I like a good conspiracy theory, but I never really give it much weight, and I definitely don't spread conspiracy theories, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone thinks, oh, Steve Delive and conspiracy theories. Like, maybe drama, maybe like, I don't know, nosiness, Gemini bullshit, but like not conspiracies.
So they think that I'm in the middle of all these different, you know, conspiracy type situations. I guess at this point I can't say that I'm not without like just looking shady as hell. But like, I'm not on purpose. If that counts for anything, I'm not in the middle of everybody's business on purpose. It's just kind of happened that way, you know? And when I say that, I'm telling the truth. Like, I'm a nosy guy. Admittedly, I'm pretty nosy. But like, I was just curious. There's a difference between people that are like trying to take control and people that are curious. Me personally, I was curious. And I learned a lot about a lot of people. I learned a lot about a lot of subjects, like in reference to education. And now I know too much. So I'm at the precipice of working with these big bad organizations instead of working for them, because I'm not comfortable with anybody having control over my life. And in return for their willingness to let me work for them without having to let them control me, I
thought you were working with them, not for them. And I thought that working with them was going to be like, the state just pays me money instead of me having to have a job because I'm a crazy person. And I guess he never saw the psychiatrist based on the most recent live we just watched.
am willing to remain silent about their personal, private dealings. So essentially, I'm legally pressuring.
I think like the biggest conspiracy theory that I would publicly back, and I've probably said this before, I don't bring it up much though, is that recycling is a fucking scam. Like, that shit's a scam. And it's a fun way to get companies to have us play with garbage to save them a couple cents in manufacturing costs. It doesn't save the environment. And it's a bunch of busy work, and I fucking hate it. But other than that, like, I don't think I really push conspiracy theories ever. And I think some people would say that's a conspiracy theory, but I think recycling itself is a conspiracy.
it's like high pressure sales. I am legally pressuring very powerful organizations into hiring me in return for my discretion. Yeah. And it's working. So, you know, I just got to keep doing it, I guess. And hopefully I just stay alive. You know, that's all it takes. One day at a time. Thanks for the beans. And I guess I've been doing this for so long and dealing with this situation for like a decade. And it's only now that it's finally starting to sink in that I'm actually like, I've literally single-handedly taken on some of those powerful organizations in the entire world. And I guess a crazy homeless guy is about the only cover I could possibly maintain without people asking a bajillion questions. So, you know, like I'm like, holy shit, I did that. Like, that was me. Like, how did I do that without breaking the law, let alone without dying? I don't know, but I did it.
I'm forced to recycle because they're like, we're just gonna stop fucking picking up your garbage. So like, I'm like, all right, well, I can't, I don't know, I can't live like that. But garbage pickup's only twice a month, so all the other times I just gotta recycle everything else. So I'm like, and yeah, most of it just goes to the landfill. Like, what are we doing here? What are we fucking doing here? We're making ourselves feel good. And companies can save, like, I don't know, cents manufacturing stuff because they can use recycled materials as opposed to, like, raw materials. But then, it's not like we, as the consumer, get any of that back. It's not like prices are lower. Prices are always going up. So you got me playing with garbage for no fucking reason. And, like, if you want to do... you want to just look at it from like a practical standpoint too, there's one garbage truck and now we have like what, 2 other recycling trucks, so we have 3 trucks out on the road now. They go to all these other plants that have like that pollute the air when you process, like when you burn plastic down or melt it. I think the only thing that's like that makes sense is aluminum. Like recycling aluminum apparently is viable and it's actually worth something, and that's why you can actually get money for recycling aluminum. But everything else, it just seems like a bunch of crazy nonsense. But I don't know, like I said, people would call me a conspiracy theorist and that I'm crazy and that I hate the planet or something. And no, I love the planet. I don't. If recycling is saving the planet, how come, like, we've been recycling for a while, right? How come the planet's not how come it's not saved yet? I'll still recycle because I have to, but I just don't like it. I don't like how it's set up. Could probably be done more efficiently. Like, I'm not saying like the concept doesn't kind of make sense. It would make sense to not just throw things away if you can reuse them. But yeah, anyways. I'm done talking about recycling.
And now, like I said, I turned around and I said to our worst adversaries, I said, you know what? You're able to make people rich and famous. Can we work together? I know that we tried to kill each other for over a decade, but can I get a job?
Wait, what? Hold on. Kill each other for a decade? Can I get a job? Who? You and Michael Conger or something? Or the fucking police.
Famous. Can we work together? I know that we tried to kill each other for over a decade, but can I get a job? And they said yes. So, yeah. So now I'm famous, and now I gotta get rich. That part, I don't know how that works. The famous part's easy for me. I understand how that works. The rich part, I don't know how I'm supposed to get rich without actually making my own money. Because I'm not like, I'm an explainer. So I can explain to you how I got famous. And that is something that, you know, I have a proper explanation for. But unless I get rich the right way, it's just fraud. So I have to find a way to get rich the right way.
I wish James, when he called me and I was in Walmart, was like, can I get a job? And I would have been like, what do you want to do? Like, keep James busy. I don't know, what could we get James to do that would make me more money than him somehow? It would never work, though. James cannot be given instructions. Unless, like, the objective is to fuck up the instructions. Then we could give him instructions. But I don't know what thing we would be looking to accomplish where we would want the objective to be fuck up the instructions.
So that when people ask me questions, and I answer them, I don't get in trouble. Don't think anyone wants to be controlled. Some people do. Some people do. I just...
If we need to fake insanity or something, we can get James to take a test. Like an insanity test. He'd be good for that.
I don't. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for the follow. I am not, for the last time, I am not on Grindr. No, I'm not. If there is somebody using my name and my photos on Grindr, or photos made up of me, like, you know, fake photos, I believe that, but I don't have a Grindr. I've never had a Grindr. Ever. I'm telling you.
Wasn't he Grayson Riley on Grindr?
The truth. I don't, listen, I've dealt with a lot of people that have secrets. I don't have many at all. You can ask the people I grew up with. You can ask the people I'm currently associated with. You can ask the people that I work for and work with. I am not a very secretive person in my own personal life. I'll keep your secrets to the grave, but I don't really have many of my own.
It's hard to keep secrets when you like broadcast everything all the time. Broadcast, fucking live stream everything all the time.
Call me. Nah, I don't know that song. Listen, I got a buddy I got a call, but I had to come live first. Like I said, when I went into Ovation to grab my packages, they had people standing there pointing at me, making it look like I was holding a bomb. You know, like they were doing a setup type shit. And they're like, oh, no, you're paranoid. Guys, everybody's paranoid.
What is Ovation? Ovation? Ovulation? What is that place?
It fucking happens to you. In 2021, I got set up. All right? And so ever since then, I've been very careful. So that shit that happened in Ovation, I made sure to immediately come onto a live stream. So that whenever because I know there's employees on that team that watch my videos. So, you know, I can count on them to get on the fucking security camera and see that shit. So I'm good. I had to make sure to come live before answering anybody personally. Just for my own safety. No, that sounds cool. But, all right, I got to pee real quick. And I got to make a couple of phone calls, especially after that debacle. So I'm not fucking doing this shit again. So,
That's like that should be on the bingo card. Really make bingo cards for you guys more. Not doing this again. We did this last year. Everything happened last year.
So, you know, I'm not paying for it either. Stop extorting me, because we got the resources now and I'm willing to use them. Out of country, not in country. And we know where they live now too. So we're going to be knocking on their doors pretty soon. Wish me luck. I'll talk to y'all. Bye for now.
What are they doing? Did he forget to end the live? Like, why does he just put us in his pocket? It's gonna end soon, but like, what is this last minute? Brace yourselves. The P stream. Ah! Oh god. Can I show this? I mean, I'm not showing anything. The fuck is... Oh my god. What the hell? What the hell? Mamma mia. Alright, what is, this is the other one. This is the mystery one, bro. This is the one I didn't even know happened. My notification didn't go off. I didn't have a missed notification. James just went live mysteriously, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? Snarky was like, look, this thing. And I was like, what do you mean this thing? And she's like, this thing. And I was like, ah. So if it wasn't for Snarky, I wouldn't even know this fucking existed. So you guys should thank Snarky next time you see her. My button didn't work. Why is it popping open music? I don't want Apple Music open. I want to press play on this. So weird.
I like it right where I'm at. Oh, wow. I just read a news report from Philly. Somebody just got shot in the head for trying to steal someone's car. That's crazy. There was a car thief tried stealing somebody's car.
We are still bipping and bopping. Just finishing up the scraps that we missed yesterday. And then there's a YouTube video that he also posted today that I want to show you guys. Back to the grind. It's like a 4-minute video.
The person took the gun, shot them in the head with it.
That's gross.
Friggin' wild, man. Thanks for hearts. Man, I'll tell you, it's like I have this weird mixture of pride and shame
Two opposite things, but okay.
over like the things that I've accomplished out here. It's like I have shame in the fact that I've had to become somebody that I don't recognize or appreciate. And I have pride in the fact that I've survived.
And I'm Steve Delive, and we're going on a ride up in ran out of rhymes.
You know, I am not somebody that anyone expected to survive whatsoever out here.
And now we would thrive!
And I did. And I didn't just survive, I thrived.
And we didn't connive.
And I hate it.
But we didn't stand by.
And that's the difference between me and these people that keep taking pride in it. Honestly, I hate.
Oh, pride. That was a good one, James.
I hate this lifestyle. I absolutely hate it. With everything in me, I hate this lifestyle.
And we're not gonna die.
I'm very excited to get out of this lifestyle and move on in my life. So, yeah. So I let my battery kind of go low today. I didn't charge it fully. I know I'm supposed to charge it fully, but I just wasn't in the mood to be around people. And it's weird. Like, it's not one of those days where I'm fighting with anybody. I'm not fighting with anybody. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just freaking cranky today. I don't know why.
It's like a kid, you know? Where's his applesauce? He'll feel better after he eats his applesauce.
Just out of sorts. I'm just not in a good mood. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I had to walk like 5 miles. That might be why.
Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, but this is what the lines are coming, so this is it, basically. He doesn't come back, like...
I'll tell you something that is refreshing.
He doesn't tell us what's refreshing. These lines come, and yeah, he doesn't come back. It ends like that. So that's it. That was still yesterday. Now we're all caught up on yesterday. The only thing left is this YouTube video that he posted to YouTube. I just downloaded it because maybe we should give James watch time. Why would we give James watch time or review? But this is his video from YouTube. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it's all about.
Hey, I figured I'd take this opportunity to make a video.
The opportunity. What opportunity? You have nothing but free time all day, every day. The opportunity.
I'm realizing now, so I have the second phone, right? And I don't always have service on. I not that I don't always have service, I don't have service on it. It's a phone that I use that costs less than an iPod that I have for music, so I could play my music without running my main phone dead. Because as everyone knows, I use my phone a lot for a lot of things. Like most of us, except I don't have... Yeah. Anyway, okay, so where was I?
You didn't even get started. Like what? You have a phone and you want to take this opportunity to make a video about what? What are we... Fucking James.
I figured I would do some videos here on the phone that, I'm now able to keep charged for the most part, like all day. So, like, I'm waking up in the morning and I still got 70-something%. So I might as well use it, make some videos. I got like another hour and a half before, before the day really starts and the sun's out and there's more stuff to do. And like
iPods were still around when James first went to jail.
I've done my market research for the morning. I don't really have anything else to do. So I figured I'd check in.
His market research? What's the market research? Are people going to be on Bigo today? How many beans are going to get donated to Bigo today? What market research?
Make a few recorded videos. I don't know if y'all want something once a day on YouTube or if you want something once a week on YouTube. And so you're gonna...
YouTube just wants you to be here all the fucking time. It's true though. It's true. The more I find, at least, the more I stream, the more retention is gained and the more subs come. Like, when I was just streaming for, let's say, an hour and a half to 2 hours once a day, if I missed a day, I don't know, it like stagnated. So YouTube just wants you on here all the time, James, all the fucking time. Unless, like, you do something really special. Like, that's ever gonna happen. James is definitely not gonna do anything special. I'm not doing anything special, so yeah, I should just grind, James. Give us a bunch of YouTube content that I can pause and stuff, and like, I don't need to rely on Bigo. Bigo sucks, man. Like, you gotta be there and recording at the time. At least YouTube, I can download all the videos and I don't have to worry about it. And it's not like I need to even have a YouTube account to do that. He'd be so much easier to archive if he was just on YouTube.
You have to let me know what your preference is, if you want once a week or once a day. As far as TikTok and the rest of that, I don't really know. Everybody knows that I how do I put this? For the less monopolized platforms, I'll take some time with them, and then once I've kind of capitalized on it, and then the algorithm becomes advanced enough that the feed is no longer chronological, then I kind of backtrack from it and don't use it as much. So, we'll see what happens. I'll make TikToks here and there for you. But for the most part, I think I'm going to be sticking to YouTubes and, making YouTube videos and things like that.
Tubes! On the tubes. Yeah? This is only halfway through the video? Awesome.
Alright, so thanks for stopping in with me. My name is James. I don't really have like a topic. It's not technically a vlog because I don't tell you too much about my life. I don't really have all that much going on, to tell you the truth. But I've made so much content over...
Well, the reason I even titled it James is pretending to be Corey Feldman is because for 16 minutes, he just like stared into the phone with this weird oversized hood on. That I remember Corey had a hood on like this and his sunglasses, and he thinks he's important and he's not really fucking important. So yeah, just that's the similarities. I should have titled it like I can't even remember what he was saying. Some crazy shit today though. Some crazy fucking insane shit. But he was an alien saved his life from a car crash or something. He lost his memory, but now he smells like fish ass. He might be dying from fish ass. That's what I should have titled it. James Soroka is dying from fish ass, and aliens saved him from the car crash. Bippin' and boppin'. I don't know. But it's whatever this is. Corey Feldman.
The past 10 years that is only now starting to get picked up. That like people are only now starting to find out about and find on the internet. So I realistically don't really have to make any content for like the next 3 to 4 years if I don't want to. So the plan is kind of to just bring you along with me and talk to you as you find my content. Usually when you find my content, it funnels you through that you eventually find me, either talking to you on a present recorded video or on a live stream. So, just find me, say hello if you're watching this right now. I usually go live on most platforms. There is one platform that I go live on pretty much all the time, but I don't really tell anybody about it, so you have to find that on your own or ask around,
Bigo. Or you can just watch my channel, but it's Bigo, and it's the worst app ever.
And in the comments, see if anybody's talking about it, and you'll find me. most of the interaction having to do with my content isn't on my own platform. I have a lot of people that either rebroadcast my content or they take my videos and put them on their own channels, because most of it's, Creative Commons, or the videos that I've deleted that then become part of the public domain. So however you choose, whatever you prefer. Thanks for stopping in.
Bada bing, bada boom. It's only halfway through airdropping. I was gonna say I could show you the... And we're not gonna just stare at James for 15 minutes of him not doing anything, but at least what he looked like in the first 15 minutes. Well, how long is it gonna take to airdrop? I did just put it over, so... What if I tell you guys a story? What do I have to tell you guys? I don't really know. I'm tired. I'm tired today. I want to just, relax. Maybe play some video games. Maybe watch a movie. Watch something that is not James or a crazy person. You know what I mean? Like something that was, written as a structure, story arc, characters that develop over time. What else? What are you guys doing this weekend? It's Saturday. It's Saturday evening. It's 7:30 p.m. There we go. Alright. Well, now we don't have to talk about life anymore. Let's... This was, This is what he looked like for the first 15 minutes of the stream. He literally just sat here like this. Maybe we could speed run it. Riveting content, right? That's only 5 minutes, so it goes on for, like I said, 16 minutes is when I think I finally heard him talking. I don't remember him walking, but still no talking, no talking. And 16 minutes was...
For Teen Vogue, an event. And I got
So I'll show you his first little set. Basically, until right when he takes his sunglasses and hood off is when my life started. So I'll show you guys up until that point, and then we are fully caught up with everything James related.
I tell you, man, the food smells good. They got, there's this Teen Vogue thing going on up the road. And I'm not a teen, so I'm obviously not going to go there. But I got so excited, thank you for the follow. I got so excited because I thought, here I'm going to be going to this event, because I saw them doing something at the, Silverman something? It's just I guess, a production company or something. I guess they have an event venue, and they were doing for Teen Vogue an event, and I got all excited because I thought I was going to go to an event, and then I show up there and it's Teen Vogue. I'm not no offense, but I'm a 30-year-old guy that doesn't have a lot to do with the culture that the people having to do with Teen Vogue are doing. I don't know anybody in that scene, on a professional basis. I don't. So I would have felt really weird going to that event. It looked like it was an open thing, or maybe people needed tickets or something. I don't know. Or reservations, or maybe invites. I don't know. All I know is it didn't look like my scene, so I didn't go. But I passed by out of curiosity to see what they were doing. So that's it. Thanks for the hearts.
Thanks for the shares there. I appreciate you. What's up, Henry? Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for the follows. Okay. So I figured we went about a block and a half, so I should...
I didn't even realize he was typing in the chat. James Rocco, taking you back off the boulevard. Thank you for the follow. So he thinks he can't talk off of the boulevard?
be good.
There we go. So this is basically where we came in at. this fucking face. Jim Jam Jr. Jim Jams, blah 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 blah. That's it, guys. That's it for the Jim Jam show today. I might be back. I don't know. Maybe back in the middle of the night, per se, or a members only stream, one or the other, or if James goes live again. But he seems pretty tired. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be back. So if he does come back, I don't think he'll go live that long. Might just save it for tomorrow. Or if I'm feeling fine, then maybe I'll just do it. But hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see y'all on the flippity flop. Flippity bop, boop bop, bye. Wow.